Here we are. Hello! Welcome to the Dead Unicorn, where we're playing Vallanthia, the fantasy open D6 system, starring Howard and his wonderful, wonderful GMing. My name is Corey.
That's sarcastic. That sounded sarcastic.
Really? No, I'm serious. No, it's wonderful. My name's Corey. I put together this channel, but like I said, I'm not the star today. It's Howard because he's our wonderful GM and he puts on a great game, and I hope you stick around for it. But there's a couple things we have to do before we get started. First off, introducing the rest of them. We have Tarek playing Erda, we have Sarah playing Esri, and we have Matt playing Tom. And I play White Ape. It's going to be a great game. We have patrons, and they're scrolling in that upper corner right over there. And they help out the channel, and they do a cool thing for us, which is vote for their favorite character, and that character gets a special bonus. And I have not checked on the poll, so let's check on the poll and see who is there. Oh, I win! Me!
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sure that wasn't rigged at all.
White Ape,
Wink,
the,
wink.
the wild elf geomancer. I barely win, guys. When
Yeah,
I
I
do
know.
win, it's always rigged. I can't win.
The only time that you know that you are winning is when you're still alive, says the GM. So shush your fuss, says the GM.
So I get myself a character point, which could help me in the game. I thank you, my patrons, for doing that, and I thank you for supporting this channel. If you want to support this channel, just hit the subscribe button. That's all you need to do. Tell your friends. But if you're in a position to help us monetarily, we thank you as well, and then you get voting power. That's it. We can move on over to Howard. I give the stage over to you, sir.
Our gang returned to the Cathedral of Light to meet with their employer, Vallanthia Thornheart, in hopes of compensation for all they had been through this past week. Lieutenant Vallanthia quickly reminded them that they actually never achieved their one main goal. In addition, their antics wrecked the asylum and resulted in the escape or death of all the inmates and most of the staff and guards. Crestfallen, our heroes split up into two groups to renew their search for Erdrek. Esri and Tom located Darnaya, a former inmate at the Light's Peace Asylum who was unjustly imprisoned. They helped her with some gold to get out of the city, and she reciprocated with what she knew about another escaped inmate named Gimma, whom she spotted in the marketplace just hours earlier. White Ape and Erda interviewed the guards at the front gate. They learned that one of the guards had a coworker who had a friend who knew a guy who saw someone matching the description of Erdrek in the east side slums of Vallanthia. So I think we will start today with Tom and Esri. I believe we ended with Erda and White Ape, so that seems fair.
Before we start, I'd just like to revise that recap a little bit. I do not believe our direct actions or our actions caused all of that mess. I think that would have happened even without our intervention. One.
Well, you
This is White Ape as he wanders along. I don't think it's all our fault.
All right.
It's not the audience we have to convince, it's Valthier.
So, starting with Tom and Esri, it has been rainy and uncomfortable all day, and now as the afternoon drags on towards the evening, a cold front is blowing in. The damp streets of the marketplace have an icy shine forming. The sides of the buildings are still covered with piles of shoveled snow, and most of the shops are still open, but not too crowded because of the cold. The keepers are mostly bundling up and drinking steaming fluids from mugs. What are you two doing in the marketplace?
Let's see. We had left off that we were going to go try to see. We were following up on a possible sighting of Erdrek, right? Is that where we left off?
Of one of the other inmates, because you're looking for anybody that might have seen Erdrek, and Gimma was an inmate.
Right. Okay. You're right. Okay. So, yeah, I guess that's going to be probably the first thing we're really focused on is just trying to ask around to see if with the description of the inmate, to see if anyone's seen her. It was a her, right?
It was a her.
Okay, yeah.
You did know I don't want to say you met her, like you didn't have any long conversations with her, but she was the one that was in the cell across from Darnaya. Her cell had like writing on the walls, and she like would pick up rocks and like pry up rocks from the ground and like write on the walls, and her nails were all ragged and her fingers were messed up, and she couldn't speak.
She was one of the crazy people who actually seemed crazy, right?
She seemed pretty crazy.
Yeah, by the time we
As
find
opposed to
her,
some of the ones that
she
seemed
probably like
fine.
really cleaned herself up.
It's just this majestic looking woman wanders through the marketplace, just like, well, that can't be her.
I'm expecting to like find her sprawling on the wall of a building or something, honestly.
Okay. I guess you can make a streetwise a roll if you want to start. If you just want to make a roll, but if you'd like to actually interact with people, tell me where you would go to look for someone that you're looking for in a marketplace.
Okay.
Because if you have a
Remind me what we
plan,
see.
you'll get a better chance on your roll if the plan makes sense to me.
Yes, I would like to have a plan, please. What do we see as far as shops in the immediate area?
In the marketplace, I actually used to have a map of the marketplace. I think it must still be in there. I never.
Yeah, I remember. We walked around your map.
Hey, how do I do this again? All right. Did that put the map up? I don't see a change here.
All I see is a black screen at the moment.
You must have global lighting on.
Dang it. Hey, wait, is it dynamic lighting I need to change? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Turn it off. All right, I'm gonna put the map up so everybody can see it on YouTube.
Okay.
Well, I put the players on the Grand Walk, which is the main part of the marketplace, but I'm still seeing the artwork map with y'all's giant figures on it.
Let's see. I see the map. Like I just placed my icon on there, and I see like most of them from what I could tell.
You see them?
So let's see.
Well, one of us can see
Carpentry, fish market, candle maker, spicy food vendor,
Spider-Man secret lair.
and his trophy room right above it.
And his neighbor, the black cat. Electro.
Oh, yes.
And Electro lives across the street from him.
Oh, now I see it. Okay. Apparently I put y'all over there, but I have to also click it myself to move me over there. I see now. I was like, why won't it let me do things? All right. So yeah, this is the market. You can put yourselves wherever you'd like to be. The alchemy shop that y'all went to with it's not Sparkle.
Twinkle.
Is right here.
Sorry, that's probably my fault.
I don't remember who got it wrong first, but once that happened, it started to stick in my head.
It stuck in mine too. I think I was the one who probably said it the most. I cannot keep that straight.
Sparkle is a paper towel? Yeah.
It is, yes. But that was not the name, right? It was like glitter or something like Sparkle,
Twinkle.
but it wasn't Sparkle.
Twinkle.
Twinkle. See, Sparkle, Twinkle, same difference.
To be fair, Carlos also said he didn't care if y'all switched it up.
He was kind of like the skunk from Bambi. He was like, you can call me Flower if you want.
Right.
All right. So, Esri, do you know how to pull your character onto the screen?
Yeah,
Okay,
I just did. Okay, hang on. Let me get my map adjusted here. Okay. So now I'm over by Tom. And okay, so let's see. That's an alchemy shop. And I'm sorry, tell me one more time.
What's
Because I
the
was pulling
hourglass
everything up.
one?
The hourglass one? You want to go check it out?
Well, I'm just wondering what sort of shop that is.
It's an interesting shop that sells items that you personally would have no idea what they are, due to your lack of familiarity with most things that humanoids make. But Esri might know what they are. The hourglasses that they sell are pretty straightforward, and you're familiar with people using sand in a glass to, mark time. But they also have boxes that tick and with little pieces on them that move, and you're not sure what any of that's for. And the whole place is run by a tiny gnome. He's actually a little bit shorter than the average gnome. Even he's very small. He's got little goggles on his head, and he's got an apron full of various tools, and he's just kind of scurrying around like checking on things and oiling things, and grumbling to himself. I believe in Sylph, which is the gnomish language as well as the Elven. It's kind of the root language for most of y'all's languages, and he's grumbling basically about the cold and how it's going to mess up the gears, which is something that anyone who speaks Sylph will know, which is Esri.
Okay. Then I will go ahead and approach him. What was the description that we were given regarding, or what do I remember regarding what the girl looked like that we're looking for?
Her fingers are really gnarly looking, and they were bleeding, I think, when you saw her. Like all of them, like from continuous rubbing on things or digging onto a stone wall. They looked really raw and worn. She was, last you saw, dressed in like absolute rags. Well, let me see if I can find her actual
description.
I'll just pull it up. Hey, here she is. She looks like this. Only not that big.
What race is she?
She looks human.
Okay.
She has pupils in her eyes. It's just that particular token doesn't. I'm not. Just so you know, it's not like a weird, like eyes glowing yellow or something.
Okay.
Understood.
So the only thing about her that's really memorable, other than maybe the fingers, is like that she has the purple stripe in her hair.
Does it look purple to you? I think it was supposed to just be dark hair, but yeah, now that you say it, I think it was supposed to be like layers of hair, so you see different shades of it, but it's, you know what I'm saying?
It's definitely black with purple streaks.
Make it bigger.
I see it as a layers of hair, but
yeah, I think that was supposed to look like layers of hair, but
Oh, okay. Well, then she's just dark haired.
dark haired, yeah.
Okay.
But that's a fair question.
It does look like purple to me. I'm just saying, but okay.
I see it. It looks like navy to me.
Well,
All right.
that's
So
because
anyway,
you're
that's her
slightly
description.
colorblind. Okay, so I'll walk up to the shopkeeper and I'll say, excuse me, sir. I was looking for someone. I was hoping you could tell me if you've seen her since she was spotted in this area last.
He kind of looks around and looks up at you, because keep in mind he's like, maybe just shy of 3 feet, or sorry, of a meter in this game.
and Tom will be looking at all those interesting knickknacks on the walls.
Yeah, he'll probably give Tom like a double take, huh?
He's got like a wrench in his hand. He's working on a little box, and he looks up at you. He goes, well, what are you looking for? Or who are you looking for?
She's a human. She has dark hair, kind of long, gnarly fingers. They might be bleeding. She's kind of strange. She might be talking to herself or writing on a wall, that kind of thing. She was in the mental hospital recently. We're trying to find her and get her back there for her own safety.
This guy isn't actually huge on the streetwise knowledge, so he thinks about it for a moment. Nope, I haven't seen anyone like that in here. In fact, if I did, I'd probably tell him to leave, because it doesn't sound like someone who wants to buy anything. But if you're interested in finding a way to measure time, that's what these do. I know a lot of people don't understand, but it's really convenient. And and this one does this. And he pushes a a lever on the side of one, and a little thing shoots out with a tiny mechanical bird-looking creature that goes cuckoo, cuckoo, and then it slides back in.
Tom kind of perks up, looking at that contraption.
Or perhaps you've seen a fellow, and what was Airdrek's description, other than the fact that he's human and speaks the lizard tongue?
Speaks the
Is
lizard
there anything
tongue.
else about him?
He
Reptile,
does.
yes, that one. Was there anything else memorable about him?
I think he's bald and wearing kind of just rags, like, or actually, no, he didn't even have a shirt on. Here he is. Make him a little bigger so you can see him.
Yes, that would be helpful. Okay, so just that he's bald. Does he have any like tattoos that are distinguishing, or?
He has
It
a
looks
lot
like
of
he might have-
scars all over his body, and he did have some. Actually, he did. Yeah, he had not tattoos, but symbols like scarred into his flesh.
Oh, okay, because it looks like the figure might have some tattoos, but you're saying that's just scarification?
I don't actually see what you're seeing when you look at these things, I guess, because I don't see anything that looks like a tattoo. I see
It looks
his
like there's a
pecs.
spot on his left shoulder and a spot on his right arm that look
That's
kind
the
of darker.
shading of the area under his pecs and his back.
okay. So that's not actually
Yeah.
anything
I didn't
other than
actually.
his body.
I got these from a program that gives you instant tokens for your games, and
Yeah, it looks like a fighter token, but
Yeah.
a
okay.
monk token.
Okay. So basically, what I'm wanting to know is that if there's anything any distinguishing marks on him. You said he's got scarification marks, but that's it.
Yeah, scar. Some of them look like scars from battle or being attacked or tortured, but some of them look like they were symbols that or someone intentionally carved there.
hmm
You don't know what the
Okay.
symbols are.
Okay. So I'll just say, or perhaps you've seen a bald man not wearing a shirt with a lot of scars on him. Anyone like that around?
I gotta change my color because my black dice doesn't show me what I'm looking at. Here we go, 7. Nope. He thinks about it for a moment and goes, if these people are the type that travel from towns to out in the wilds and do things, you might want to try the guild over there. And he points north to the Adventurers Guild, where you met a guy named Delroy and took a contract, because that is where out of towners go when they
Right.
need jobs.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time. We do appreciate you speaking with us.
I think it was Tom is the one with the. Didn't you have like a really high acumen? Am I wrong in that?
let me take a quick look. Like I should. Well, maybe not a crazy high acumen. It's a 4.
No, you have 4 dice base in acumen. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You get the sense, and let me look at Esri too, because I really don't remember. I haven't memorized everyone's character sheet for some reason, because I can't. It's too much.
That's fine.
All right, so yeah,
Nerve.
Tom, you would probably pick up on this, that the guy is eyeing you, and her as y'all leave, but you don't know why, because you have no street knowledge.
Well, actually, when Ezri was disengaging, like I would probably pick out like maybe one of the neater looking boxes and see if I could purchase one of them, because I'm curious to know how it functions.
Well,
I assume it's
then
like
here, let me show you.
Mhm.
What do you, let's see. I don't really know what you're called. I've heard of mushroom people, so I'm guessing you're that,
Oh.
right?
By saying.
Am I saying?
I saying. Okay.
Mhm.
So these are, well, clocks. And what they do is these hands, and he starts explaining basically that when this one points up, when they both point up, that means it's 12, and then one up, one down is, and he goes through it and he explains the hour hand and the minute hand. And basically, when you want to measure time in a more simple manner, and I don't have a hourglass on hand, but this will work. He explains how when all the sand is here, and he says this one is a minute, you go like that, And after 1 full minute has passed, you'll know. And he says people use them to cook, so they can always cook things the same way by cooking them for the same amount of time. There are a lot of things that measuring time makes easier.
So when both hands are at center, sun is high in the sky. I'm trying to say it in broken Vallantian, right. Like trying to put two concepts together that are still somewhat foreign to him, because
exactly.
He's been underground.
That's exactly it. It's either these clocks measure the day twice. It's either when the first time they're there, if it's light out, then high in the sky. But the second time they're there, then it's at the opposite. It's the darkest part of the night.
I'll make purchase of one.
Well, they're very complex boxes, so they're kind of pricey, but what they do is pretty amazing, and nobody else knows how to make these. And he goes and looks around. He says, "Do you have a place to store one?" And he looks at the big clocks are the wall clocks, the grandfather clocks, wall clocks, and oh, don't bite. Okay.
Your cat thought it was playtime.
Yeah, I wasn't petting her enough.
ISIS will make you pay.
She is a terrorist.
This guy, no, this gnome, if he invented clocks, he's a terrible person.
Well, his name is Taghauer the gnome.
Clocks are terrible. So the day will be divided into 12 segments. No, 24. So the day will start at 1. The day will start at 12, which is at night. And the 6 means 30. Clocks I hate. It was hard to learn them when I was a kid.
Yeah.
For no apparent reason, White Ape is grumbling about something called clocks.
No, seriously. Why didn't they just make a clock 24 hours if there's 24
Those exist.
They do. No one uses them.
It was probably like a space saving function. They didn't want to put so many notches on the face of a clock. So they're like, you know what? Just 2 revolutions, that's a day. Whatever. I'm just dumbing down the description. But
so you have a basic understanding. Most of these clocks sell for the cheapest one he can find is going to be 5 gold. They go up into the hundreds of gold because this is a working item with gears, and a lot of value is put into there from his labor and his expertise.
Okay.
It's not something you can easily get in a fantasy world.
Yes, though I still do get my craftsman's income per month.
Oh, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
How much does it say you get?
It's around 20-25 gold from what I recall.
Well, you haven't used it, and this has actually been the same month. So
yeah, I'm trying to find my where I have my gold notes. I wonder if I spent a lot of the gold.
It says wealth. You have rank 1, so we can roll your monthly income. But your gold notes are going to be further down underneath spells, personality. No, that's too far. Where is it?
Okay.
Oh, it's on equipment.
So currently I have around 4 gold left from all the expenditure during the work we made while we were making the renovations. Oh, that poor donkey.
Yeah, it says here you have 0.2. You have 1/4 of a gold.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why you did that. Oh, because you have 2.5 silver. Oh, okay. So you just put the note that means of.
Yeah, and above fate points, I have 4 gold left. So I have gold and a fraction of some gold.
Okay. And let me look up something real quick for you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember how much a rank 1 wealth is, and we can just roll it real quick.
Maybe you could barter him down and just tell him that's all you have, because it is all you have.
Yeah.
Dude, this is This is not a great purchase, let me tell you.
Oh, I
It's a
know that. It's more of like, I'm thinking like, going meta here. I'm thinking along the lines of like, making an ally or at least having a friendly eye on the streets. I'm pretty sure some of the other vendors would be better, but
It's
who knows? He might have some contraptions that might be useful in the future.
Look, it's an overpriced machine. It's only used as a status symbol. It doesn't even play good video games. It's an Apple device.
Says the man who owns Apple devices.
Literally bragged about that today, I believe.
Exactly. That's the point. He's making fun of himself. It would be a very Corey purchase.
And
do it.
for Tom's justification, he wants to see how it works and, learn a little more about the purpose of it.
Okay, so you don't roll it. It says you get 10 gold coins.
He's
10
like,
gold
I'm
coins.
going to reverse engineer it and turn it into a mushroom clock, make my own mushroom clock.
One that spores every 24 hours.
So the way that works, although we didn't role play it, and we can try harder to remember to do that in the future. What Corey was trying to do to get paid for all the work y'all did in the tunnels, you actually managed to get paid.
Oh, okay. I unfortunately didn't record it.
Well, I'm telling you right now that you have 10 more gold because that's what your advantage
Cool.
says.
Oh, hold on.
Or you have 102.5 silver, however you'd like to record it.
I'm recording it under funds/gold above fate points.
Basically, Corey tried to charge Valthier, who was like, I'm not paying you for your cover story. And you just walked over to somebody else who was like actually in charge of handing out money to the workers, and you got paid.
Well, since Tom really has no knowledge for bartering, I think he'd definitely go for like one of the cheaper priced options, which is the 5 gold clock.
Okay. The 5 gold clock it's a cube that is like roughly about like 6 inches tall, and wide because it's cube. And all of the facing on all of the clockwork is on one face, and he shows you how he unclips it and works on it, and he shows and puts it back together, and stored inside on one panel is a key, and you take the key out and he shows you where to put it to wind the clock, keep it going, and he shows you how to set it. It doesn't have an alarm or anything like that, but it does keep time.
Huh. Can I use one of my skills to kind of remember it? Or
sorry?
could I use my skills to kind of remember
I would say with your craft knowledge is pretty high, so I'm just going to say that I'm not going to make you roll for it. He explains you how it works, and you're the type, you have already an engineering mind that you're like, oh, okay, go, that makes total sense.
All right.
The only thing that takes you a moment to understand certain words, like you haven't actually heard the word gear before. But as he points at things, you start to puzzle it out.
All right, that's helpful. So I'm assuming that I'm going to be short of 5 gold.
Right. So I gave you 10 gold, but knock off 5 of it. I'm assuming you put it on your character. I didn't adjust your character.
Yeah, let me see. Other equipment. So I'm gonna just add a cube clock.
Is there anywhere else in the marketplace that you would like to look for this woman that escaped the asylum other than the clock store?
Going meta, I'm assuming whatever the heck the spider vendor is. Is it like
That's why I was kind of asking what the symbols meant, because I can guess, but I'm not really sure.
Oh, totally fair. All right, so let's see.
Yeah, you kind of narratively dragged us into the clockmaker's workshop.
Well, I explained what it was because you asked what it was. Oh, I guess, and I asked if you went to go check it out to see what it was. None of you can read, but I guess you can see the symbols hanging
No,
outside.
I can read. I can read, remember?
Oh, that's right. I forgot. My
I
bad.
taught myself. I can read.
She can read. All right. So
What do
the
the
one with
signs
the fish on
say?
it, the one with the fish on it's a fish store. The one with the jalapeno or the chili pepper is it's a Chili's. No, it's a spice store.
Okay.
The one with the thunderbolt, it says, according to the sign, because you can read, it's a magic shop. The one with the wrench, they sell tools, basically. The one with the cat is a pet store. The one with the star symbol is actually the at the top here is an astrologer.
Oh, I thought it was a map maker.
No, but I can see why you think that. Let's see. This one with the trophy on it, they sell, cups and pans, and I didn't have a cup picture, so I used a trophy. Basically, they sell, general goods for your kitchen and your house that are made of metal.
It'd be hilarious if it was a trophy shop. Award yourself for whatever reason you feel like awarding yourself for.
Right, the one with the spider on it is actually the guy that's running it will tell you, and it's called Trapper Joe's, and the guy who's running it will tell you that he sells all kinds of equipment to trap animals, including, and the reason for the spider symbol is that he has venoms that are good to bring down larger beasts.
So pest control.
Sure. The candle maker is kind of obvious. The hammer is well, that's, or is that the tool?
Hardware store.
Oh no, the hammer is actually a carpenter.
Ah. A fellow woodsmith.
All right. So that is what all the shops are. Is there any that catch your eye?
If I'm understanding this map correctly, the shops that are in the back are kind of like their view is blocked by the shops in the front of the way by, basically, right?
Yeah, not completely. I mean, there are well, as it's cold, they've actually started boarding up the shops a little to kind of keep the cold air out. But there are still some places you can see all the way through, because imagine these are stands in a medieval market, so it's like a big, like I don't want to say a tent. They're a little bit more permanent than that, but you can kind of see what's on the other side of that tent by looking through the windows. Or you can actually walk from one side of the shop through it to the other.
Because I'm basically wanting to talk to whoever I think might have the best view. As I'm looking around, are there any shops where there's like maybe some shopkeepers looking out that seem like they have a good eye on things, or?
Actually, Trapper Joe guy here, the person running Trapper Joe's, it looks like he's constantly looking around. He has a missing left arm, and he just really dark circles under his eyes. He's a human, kind of scraggly hair, a little bit longer than mine, and just he has like worn out looking clothes, but also a leather vest over him, like he's almost armored, but you're not sure if it's armor or if it's a style choice. And he's a little bit shifty, maybe. Hard to say.
I actually will nudge Tom and say, hey, why don't we go talk to that guy? He looks like he's got an eye on things.
Tom will nod.
All right, we'll head over to him.
That human needs to regrow his arm. Yeah, you don't know why that he would think that's a convenient way to arrange his body parts.
They're just like, that's really
I'll
strange
just
that he has
pluck one of my
to do
arms
that,
off
right?
and let him attach it to his stump, and I'll just work on regrowing my next arm.
No, doesn't work. Doesn't work like that.
You have to tie it on first before you can graft it.
Oh, I have this this roll of silver that is amazing. It can stick anything to anything. Named it after a mallard.
Yeah, I'd like to see you invent medieval duct tape. That would be lovely.
I want to call this my Saiyan glue.
Right.
All right,
Okay, so I'll walk up to him and say, excuse me, sir. We were looking for someone, and we're wondering if maybe you might have seen her. And she's about so tall, dark hair, kind of gnarly looking fingers that might perhaps be bloody, might be talking to herself. Or a gentleman who shirtless, bald, has scars on his chest. Have you seen anyone like that in this area?
He thinks about it for a moment. He eyes you up and down. There it is. Okay. He says, well, what would that be worth to you? And he looks you up and down. He looks over at your Mycenaean friend, and he just looks back at you, and he seems not to be as weirded out as some people are by the fact that you're a shadow and he is a mushroom.
A particularly tall one too.
What kind of wares do they have in this place?
It looks, honestly, as you step in to talk to him and you're looking around, it looks kind of like the hunting section of a National Outdoors. With a lot of lethal like bear traps, and there are smaller traps for catching vermin, and then there's like a whole like survivalist like section of just like big daggers used for pretty much everything in the woods. The survivalist knife, and
cans.
yeah, he's got all kinds of like archery equipment, bows, arrows, quivers. This looks like a place to gear up, to go live on your own, or to or if you wanted to. And I'll give this to your background specifically, Esri.
Mhm.
Another possible use for all of this stuff, especially with the interesting spider logo, which it could be that he gears up people. He's pretending to be a particular type of store, but he's actually gearing up more roguish types.
Got it. Okay. So I don't have the specific ability to make my shadow stuff for other people yet, right? Just for myself.
You could do it like temporarily. I mean, you can do anything you want with your magic, but if you don't have a skill in it, like you're practiced at making people see the things that they fear as shadowy monstrosities coming at them. Any shadow mage could do it, but because you've practiced it, you have extra dice to roll. So if you want to do something else, sure, you can try. But without the skill.
So if I created like a shadow dagger, is that something that would disappear at some point? It wouldn't continue.
Your shadow daggers that are a gift from your, we'll just say patron. Those things they last until after they have inflicted damage, or so like you can throw them.
Got it.
Or you can make one in your hand. It lasts until you release it from existence.
Got it. So if I wanted to make one that would last until it inflicted damage, I could do that.
Right. Like, so you could throw it, or you can hold it and continue to stab. But if you handed it to him, by the end of the next turn, it would just kind of turn into a regular shadow.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out, if I could create something lasting or if it would just be like fool's gold, basically.
Yeah, it would be fool's gold that doesn't last long enough to fool anyone.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So there goes that idea.
With your actual magic, you could shape a shadow into something and make it solid and hand it to him, but it will eventually fade away, and you need a lot of successes to keep it stick around long enough to fool him.
Got it. Okay. What would that kind of information cost, in your opinion?
Well, let's see. Tell you what. If you don't have money, then, if you have interesting information of your own that might benefit me, I might go for that. or something I could use. I'm not against bartering. I also accept, good old coins.
I'll look over at Tom. Tom, you have anything you could create for him that might be of interest?
Those little gold discs with the picture of the king.
Yeah, like a risotto or
Whoa!
maybe a ravioli with some stuffing. Taki,
I
I'm
meant
thinking
more
maybe.
along the lines of like a mushroom pod something, because he's always making those.
Tarek, that was
Something
a little
that
loud.
Yeah, but
along the lines of-
I was naming mushrooms. That's what I was doing.
I
just
know.
I
but
don't
I'm
think
saying, like-
ravioli is a mushroom.
I said ravioli
No, it's not.
stuffed with shiitake.
Oh, I didn't hear that
Oh,
part.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
said-
didn't hear the shiitake part either.
And then I said a nice mushroom risotto, or like a ravioli that's stuffed with some shiitake.
You are a little loud, Tarek, now that you just came in like, "Roar."
Oh God, I'm sorry.
With a booming voice.
Yeah, you did.
It was not our choice.
My
If I could do that on purpose, that'd be a great, scary villain voice. Just out of nowhere, just boom. Who dares?
I mean, you could probably just bring your mic up really, really close like this.
How's this? Is this any sexier?
Actually, yeah, it is pretty sexy.
Looks like Tarek just ate some really spicy food. He's like, oh God. Tarek, you muted
no, that was me reacting to how sexy he was.
I was also going to make a comment to that as well.
Matt was underestimating my sexiness.
It made me,
Because I have none and I could perceive none.
it made me seize with
Okay,
with
so-
envy.
In all seriousness, in game, I'll kind of like nod over to Tom and be like, anything you could make him, and like gesture to the shop along these lines you think might be of interest.
I could.
My friend here has some very unique and unusual skills.
So I'm pretty sure I could gather, what the shop is for, because I'm pretty sure the underground also has some pests that the Mysians have to.
Well, as a craftsman, the traps are pretty obvious what they do to you. Not to you, but what they would do for you if you're using them, or to you if you
Right.
stepped on them. You get what the traps do, and the weapons are weapons, and you've seen weapons. I'll say that you can get that at the very least. This anybody using this gear would be geared to go and create traps or hunt things. You might not pick up on necessarily on the roguish aspect of it, because that's more of a cultural.
I'm thinking that maybe I could do a quick little demonstration of one of my Mysian pods that I used as a sticky trap, like what I did with the ox, like a good few games ago.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
How
Maybe
are
I
you?
could-
I'm totally down with that, but I'm curious, how are you going to do it so that you can give him a sticky trap that he can activate, since he does not have.
I could perhaps give the pod a condition to where if he wants to activate it, he could just press like maybe the top of the pod. If it's like, a seed shape, like
So you're
a,
going to grow it to be full of the stickiness and like set like your own little like lever to in it grow organic lever to push to make it.
Well, I was gonna say, like, when you buy a glue trap, it has the plastic sheet that you peel off, and then you have the sticky part. Maybe you could make like something that isn't sticky that he could peel off, and the stickiness is underneath.
Okay. However you want to do it, that way, the other way. It'll take 2 rolls, 1 to make it, and 2 to talk him into this bargain.
all right. So I'll go ahead and
I'll talk him into it. Just make it.
All right, I'll make it.
She's like, I got the talking. Talking.
Oh no. No, I got a 1 on the wild die.
You did, which takes away the one of the 3s, leaving you with 1 + 3 + 2 + 2, which is not enough to make it. Basically, you're like, and this little nub begins to grow out of you, and then it just goes, and it spurts, and there's like a little gluey mess on your chest, and that's not what you meant to do.
Can he set it aside and try again?
He
On a new
can.
one?
Basically, you just wasted like a minute of concentration, and he and then you went, and he looks at you and goes, "I don't see how that's helpful."
Just give him a minute.
Like
It's
Tom
been a
just
long
kind of
day.
puts his finger like saying, giving a moment. Like he doesn't say.
Yeah,
He's like, but he makes the
It's
face
been
like,
a long day. Give him a moment.
yeah.
You know what? Actually, while he's doing that,
I hear that
I'm gonna
happens to a
start
lot of guys
distracting
in a certain age.
I'm gonna Howard. I'm actually going to start distracting the guy with some shadow magic while Tom is working so that he's not paying attention to what Tom's doing.
Oh my god! Why am I getting ones? And I should be recording these too.
That's true.
Yes,
Hey, you're
you
getting
should get a
better
new
right
skill
now.
out of
You are
this.
learning.
Okay.
All right,
Did
so you go ahead
did
and you want to distract me with a conversation, or
No,
you're going to use
I was
magic.
saying I was
though.
going to show him some shadow magic to distract him.
Let me
I figure
add the
that
failures
will
to my notes.
capture his
at least.
attention.
Well, if you just want to put on a flashy show with your shadow magic, flashy, not being exactly the right adjective since there's no light. But yeah, you can just roll magic for that with a goal to be
Okay.
entrancing. I'm good with that.
Okay.
Do you
Yeah,
have a
I'm just
particular skill that you
trying
want to use? Because I don't think you want to give him night terrors, but you could solidify a shadow.
No. Yeah, I just want to like maybe bring the shadows to life, maybe make him a little puppet show or something, just something to distract him and keep his attention while Tom is working so that he's not watching Tom. Hopefully that'll keep him from being too
Tom's over here
nervous.
doing magic, and you're like, look at the bird.
Oh, you know what? I should have
Let
rolled.
me
I
also do
should've-
my addition too, because let's see.
Howard, should I roll that as
13.
extra normal or as solidify shadow?
This if you roll it, you click the solidify shadow, it'll add the skill dice from solidify shadow to the extra normal, so it does it.
Okay, let me roll that instead then, because I just rolled extra normal.
I keep on rolling a 1 on the wild die. Why? Good
Because
God!
you're getting free
Yeah, but you rolled
XP.
a set-
Look at you go.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but
Like
but
it
he
amazes
rolled-
me.
Without the wild die, didn't he still roll a 16?
No. Because the wild die, he loses the 6.
Yeah.
So he got 4 plus
Oh,
2
okay.
plus 2 plus 2.
Oh
which-
my God.
Gotcha. Okay.
Does break a 10, but what he wants to make is a little bit more complex than a 10.
Yeah.
Right. Got it.
He's
Okay,
slowly
never
just
mind.
losing goo everywhere as you're making shadows over here.
I got another
Was
1
my-
on the wild die. Why?
Is that 4?
Okay. It was.
Yes, it's 4.
Oh man, maybe we shouldn't let you roll for yourself, Matt.
Oh my God.
All right.
That's
With
sad.
a 15, you can
just
make
wants
you
to
can
learn
animate
so
a small shadowy puppet with no problem.
Okay. All right.
And hey, yeah, if somebody's
I
standing
got
next to me,
15 out of this one, but I'll try once more.
he looks a little bit concerned about the goo that the mushroom is oozing over there because he's going to have to clean the store.
I'll
But he
clean
is
after
interested in the
myself.
fact that you made a shadowy magic bird or whatever.
Yeah, I would think that would be enough to kind of keep his attention of hey, what's she
Hey.
doing?
Oh,
What is that?
thank
How's that work?
goodness.
And it finally worked for you, sir. And it didn't just work. You actually got a 6. You exploded.
Yes.
So with a 29, you finally get a decent pot out, and you're like, man, I'm so glad this didn't happen when I was fighting a giant demon.
Yeah.
When I'm just standing in a store and there's nothing bad happening, that's the time to be just
That's
Oozing
what
all
Yeah,
over
that's
myself.
the time to start messing up. Socially embarrass
you
yourself.
were like, he's watching me. I'm nervous. Why is he watching me?
But hey, man, that's 4 XP. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, right?
know.
That was amazing.
I mean, like, do I add a pip now or what?
It depends on how many dice do you roll?
I
1, 2,
rolled
3,
I rolled
4?
4 failed dice.
No, I mean you roll 5 dice though.
Yes.
Like when you roll it, you have 5 in the skill. Did you have any already stored? Like failure stored?
I have 1 for grow plant life, but not for Mycean pods.
Okay, well this is one of your pods. if that's what you were rolling. So yeah, you need to have, if you have 5 dice on grow pods, you now have 4 fails. When you get to 5 fails, you'll get you'll be rolling 5d6 plus 1.
Well, I already have a +2 on it, so it'll be +3.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. It'll actually go to the next level if you already have +2. It doesn't go to +3.
Oh, it'll go to 6 die?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think you actually got that +2 from failures, didn't you? You didn't have a +1 on anything starting.
Ooh, I can't recall.
You've almost gotten a full die out of just screwing up.
Bonus.
Nobody learns from failure like Tom.
All
There
at
is a
once,
max.
too.
You can only have. Let's see. It's grow plant life.
Grow plant. So I already added the GP Mycene pods.
Okay. Oh, it's my sand pods. Okay, that is your specialization in grow plant life.
Mhm.
Okay, so you can have. You already have 3 in grow plant life. So this is giving you the specialization. Once your specialization gets up to 3 also, which means it'll be, let's see, hang on. Does it go up in the spec or does it go up in the actual skill? I think it goes up in the actual skill, which is grow plant life. Your grow plant life is currently at a 1. I know it says 3, but you have a base of 2. So when it goes up to a 2, it'll say grow plant life 4 plus 0. And then your Mycene pods is going to change to 6 plus 0.
Also, like how do you improve extra normal? Like on a character?
You have to buy the attribute, which is I think 10 times the level you're going to.
It's in
or
your
the level
notes
you're at.
under
I'll
your
have to look it up.
character log. There's a whole bunch of things there you can read. It tells you.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, all right. You distracted him. He made his pod. Now, while your shadow show is neat and unexpected, you want to try and talk him into trading the information for the pod.
Yes, I'm basically going to be like, so as you can see, my friend and I have many skills. Perhaps one of these pods might be of interest to one of your customers as a trap.
Is he going to do that? And he looks at all the goo that is just running down the front and sides of Tom already. Does that? I don't think that's what I want right now.
Tom, explain to him how it works. How does it work?
What'd you make?
Tom presents the pod and shows like like a little indent on it where you press it. It's so he does like a little countdown from one of his hands, and then sticky trap.
So I'm going to kind of talk up a storm about how not everything can be success in production. I'm sure he understands that as someone who, deals with crafts of varying types of quality from varying manufacturers. But this particular one he produced works very well, as you can see. And I rolled a 20 to convince him of that.
Oh, that's good. I was actually going to give you a bonus, but if you've already rolled, that's fine because you got a 20. Essentially, I was going to have Tom make a roll of crafting as he's explaining how this thing works.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was essentially role playing,
right.
how he would explain, because Vallanthia is not his main language.
Right. So as I was going to say,
and basically I'll be like, this is a one of a kind item that none of your competitors have, and no one else can sell because no one else is producing these.
All right. With that roll, he looks like he is convinced. So for future reference, before you make a roll, check with me. I was going to have him make a crafting roll to explain it, and I was going to put him at a minus because of his hindrance of not knowing the culture. And then however many levels I saw him make, I was going to give you a bonus or lower your difficulty. But since you already got a 20, you already exceeded my difficulty.
That's fair.
He looks over what Tom has made, and he considers it and says, ultimately you're asking him for something he saw earlier. You're literally taking nothing from him, so it wasn't too terribly difficult to talk him into this. He just thought he could get something out of y'all. So he takes the pod and he'll turn it away from him so that he doesn't set it off or have it go off on him. And he'll put it away safely under a counter. Then he'll look at y'all and go, all right, so I did see a woman that was kind of sneaking through here earlier. She was, I don't know if you're going to be offended. Is she a friend of yours?
No, she's a prisoner
Okay, well,
I was hired to track down.
This whack job is feral. I mean, she's running around on all fours, like just like skirting around buildings. There were people that looked very uncomfortable. There were some that went to get the guards, but by the time the guards were here, she was already hiding. What I did see her do, and he kind of leans out and he points to you, points south, and you see the fish store and the spice store. What I did see her do was snag a couple of the fish off of that box there on the end, and she ducked down into a corner and was eating them raw. It was nasty. And then after that, I saw her. She scurried on.
I don't know if everybody lost it, but I lost your sound for a minute there.
Oh no! Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I didn't. After you said that she was near the fish thing, I didn't hear it, what you said it right after that.
Okay. I said that she was eating. She hunkered down in the corner, ate some of the fish raw, and then she scurried around that building and headed further south. It looked like she was headed towards the main gate, but he figures if she got out of here, the guards would have noticed her because she was trying to be like quick, but he doesn't think that she'd get through the gate without being spotted. He doesn't know if they'd stop her because if she's leaving, I don't know if they care.
Yeah.
All right. I need one more roll. I guess actually both of y'all can make it. Is an acumen, and if you have search skill ranked, you can roll that instead.
Okay.
Okay. So Ezra got 12, and Tom got better at looking for stuff. Tom, you just got 5 XP in one scene. You're just gonna like
be worse, Matt. At
Rain
least
Man
we're
your
not
way
in
to being
combat.
godlike in your skills.
Yeah, at least we're not in combat. You're not going to die over it.
All right, don't forget to mark down the extra success. Tom, you're on mute.
Okay, so I was saying I just got 3 on the acumen search, so I get another pip, I assume.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay. Acumen
All right.
search.
Let me roll my sneakiness real quick.
Nobody screws up like you do.
I'll have to beat the 12.
You are the man.
Oh man. Hey. Oh no, it's in the wrong place. I did not actually get better at sneakiness. But all right. Well, Tom actually lost one of those 3, so he actually didn't break 7, but Esri did. Esri, you see a familiar face peeking out from underneath. There's a rack of like, it looks like trappers' clothing, you know, the outfits that you'd wear if it's cold out and you're going setting out traps in the woods. Just so like thick coats and that are kind of green or camouflage colors. And underneath them, like just kind of peering at y'all and watching, is a gnome face that is not the guy from the clock store. It's a different gnome that looks familiar to you. He's far smaller than the other gnome, who was already short for a gnome. But you've seen this guy before. He worked with a woman that you met named Roselna.
Magic shop place?
A different magic shop, not the one here, not the one in this market.
No, yeah. I mean the one I went to by myself.
That is the one, yes.
Okay.
And he's just been watching, and you're like, you don't know if he's been there the whole time or if he just scurried in, but he is just under there and staring at y'all. And he thinks he's stealthy.
Okay. I will go ahead and kind of tap on Tom and go, do you have any questions you'd like to ask our friend here? And kind of like prod you, like, go on.
So asking the shopkeeper, like
Mhm.
I'm asking uh, out of character, but um,
Perhaps you'd like to tell him a little more about your wonderful little invention here.
uh, so Tom will take the prompt and see if he can explain a little more about the pod. Should I do that crafting roll as
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
suggested earlier?
Go
All
ahead and
right.
make you a crafting check.
All right.
All right. While he's talking to the shopkeeper, I'm gonna try to like kind of stealthily walk over to where the gnome is, but make it look like I'm not really looking at him or paying attention. Like I'm just kind of examining the wares along the way.
Okay, so you pretend to be nonchalant and you try and walk by.
Mhm.
If you have like an acting skill under charisma or persuasion, I don't want to say persuasion. Let's see what it would be. Hang on, let me pull up a character sheet so I can remember what the skills are. Under charisma for you,
I have
bluff,
metal
maybe?
and bluff.
Metal
Can I
is
use
like your
bluff?
willpower.
Can I
But-
use bluff?
Yeah, I'll allow bluff. There you go. All right, let's see if I can figure out what you're up to. How streety was this guy? He's quite streety. Look at that. Not that it matters, already beat you, but all right, cool. You try to act not nonchalant, but he gets that he's been spotted, and he is going to attempt to dart out the other side of the building from the
Mhm.
entrance that y'all walked in on. So basically, he's just running out the building. He runs out. Unless you wish to stop him, in which case it goes to initiative, which is acumen.
Yeah, I'm gonna chase after him.
Okay.
Roll acumen, you said?
Yeah, just straight acumen. And his acumen, he's not the wisest.
Damn it. I never do well on initiative.
Wow.
Too bad. It's
And he didn't have much to beat, really.
It's
But
time to act
we're both
chalant.
rolling 2 dice.
Be as chalant as you can. After him.
Okay. He's just all out booking it. On the other hand, his all out booking it is modified because he has a slightly less run than y'all do. But yeah, he's just taking off.
All right, I'm gonna
Um,
chase him.
Let me make an athletics check, of which he's not terribly.
Hopefully he falls flat
It's a
on his
running
face.
physique check. Hee. Okay, so he takes off and he looks like he's just gonna be gone, and unfortunately, he gets out of the shop and he gets to about right here
Mhm.
and just beefs it and is rolling and lands here and stops.
All right, I'm gonna try to pounce him and tackle him, tigger him.
Or teach you to
And
kick
if
at me
I
from
can
under a coat.
successfully tigger, do I have to roll to tigger him?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3. To catch up to him is automatic almost. Well, yeah, it'd be automatic, but it is movement on your turn. So you'll be down 1 die for your tackle attempt, which is going to be a fighting roll. And if you
Okay.
don't have the skill of fighting, I believe it'd be a straight coordination check.
So what would that be?
Coordination?
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, that's
Double
unfortunate.
check. I don't think it's agility. I think it's coordination. But now I'm like,
Well, I don't have agility anyway, so it doesn't matter.
you have it's a main stat. Everybody has it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like a skill.
No, fighting is a skill. It's either under agility or coordination. I think it's coordination. I'm wrong.
And again,
It is
I
under
rolled
agility.
a crappy roll, so
Did you roll your agility or your coordination?
I rolled coordination.
Well, on the upside, unless that's the same number of dice, you should roll agility. That's like I said, I was looking it up. So it's agility. I told you the wrong number. You can a wrong roll.
Ah,
You can roll your
okay.
agility instead.
Okay. Yes, that is a much better thing for me, hopefully. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Slightly better.
That is slightly better. Was not currently defending, which you only need to break a 10, and you did. So you got him. You said grapple, so you don't do any damage, but you
yes.
got him.
Well, once I grapple him.
Did you
I guess
subtract a die?
No, was I supposed to?
Yeah, because you moved.
Oh, okay. So should I roll again?
Yeah, because
Okay.
if I just take off your last die, that would
Mhm.
put the 1 in the wrong place to make you make it a fail. So we go ahead and reroll.
Okay. So take it down by 1 die and roll again?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's because you moved and acted.
Got it.
Well, all right then. That's way better. Did you take it down a die?
I did, and then I took it back up. Maybe it didn't go down. Maybe I rolled it too fast, or put it back up too fast after I rolled it.
I'm not sure. It doesn't. And again, if I take that last die off, that makes it go from great to horrible.
All right, hang on. Let me do it one more time and make sure that that I have the right die. Because maybe I just didn't take it off right.
And make sure to click off of what you're subtracting onto another skill, and then try to re-roll.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Hey.
Now I'll put it
All
back.
right, 10. That's exactly what you
Okay.
needed. Congratulations. You have
Okay.
grappled a gnome. Oh, wait, no, there's
Okay.
a size difference. You failed. The same thing that made him run a little bit slower makes him harder to hit.
Okay.
All right,
So
so
he
he
gets up and
sees you
starts running
coming,
again?
and he kind of rolls to the side, and you're like next to him. You're not prone because you were standing. You didn't fail anything, but you failed to catch him, but you didn't fall down. But you are next to him, and he's going to take this opportunity to run again.
I'm sure he is. Little
'Cause
stinker.
You're chasing him, and that's scary. He doesn't want to be chased.
I'm sure he doesn't.
You look like a psycho chasing a gnome through the streets. All right. So he can move. I'm gonna get a token out.
I've
Have a
actually
gnome
got,
token ready.
I've actually got a completely different idea for my next action.
Okay. I don't have anything that looks like. Well, he kind of looks like a gnome. Boop. Kinda. It's not that guy. Just somebody who looks like a gnome. All right. You were kind of sharing a space. He's gonna run. He can run twice. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna make it off the map. So essentially we'll say he makes it 8 boxes away. Which means you're going to have to catch up to him, you're going to have to make an physique running check.
Actually, I have a different idea.
Okay.
You tell me if I can do this or not. What I was planning to do, if I was able to grapple him, was to produce a rope made out of shadow and tie him up with it. Can I create a lasso out of shadow and try to throw it on him? I know it's probably going to be a high difficulty, but I'm trying to basically catch him with a length of shadow.
It is 2 meters each. 16 meters away. All right. It's going to be due to the range. It's going to be a little bit difficult. It's going to be a difficult, but yeah, you can do it.
So are we talking like a really, really high difficulty that I may as well just run after him, or?
You're looking at a 20.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just going to keep running after him then.
Okay. Physique running.
Okay.
You can move 5 boxes normally. He's 8 boxes away.
Gotcha. Okay. That is annoying. Damn these rolls.
Okay. That is enough if you only wanted to get to where he was. because he
Yeah.
didn't run as far as he had wanted. The first time he tried to triple his movement, and he failed. So this time he only doubled his movement, and you only need a 5 to do that.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I'm just trying to catch up to him. I can try to
all right.
grapple him next
You
turn.
have caught up to him, but unless you subtracted a die, you can't also grapple. You're just next to him.
No, I'm just trying to close the distance.
Okay. He'll try and run again because you're chasing. Hey, aw, too bad I didn't say I was going to triple it. Oh well, he runs 8 boxes away.
All right, so I would, in order to actually like catch him, I have to subtract a die, right?
Mhm.
Otherwise, he can just keep running from me.
Oh, actually, I rolled that wrong. Let's click 3 instead of 2, but 2 6s would have done it anyway. All right. Yeah, if you want to catch him, you're going to need to get up on him and catch him. So you're going to be 1 die down on your running check.
All right, I will go ahead and attempt to run and grapple.
All right. So do the run first.
Okay, so I need to make two separate rolls.
Right. Physique
Okay.
running at 1 die down, and then your
Okay.
grapple, which would be agility fighting at 1 die down.
Wait, you're saying physique running at 1 die down?
Right.
Because I only have 1 die in that.
Then you can't do it. You have
I-
1
well, I
die
have-
total in physique. You've been rolling 2.
Well, I have 1 die plus 1.
Let me see. Hang on. Because you've been rolling 2 dice for your physique. You have 1 die. Oh, I see. Yeah, it is plus 1. Yeah, if I subtract a die from that, then you are not gonna make it. Your best bet would be to try and shoot a shadow at him if you want to kill him. I don't know.
I'm not trying to kill him. I'm just trying to catch him. Just wanna
It looks
talk
like
to
you're
him.
terrible at running. I didn't realize you were that bad.
Okay, so wait. If I fail,
Oh, I see. You
rolls, then
actually
I
got
get
a
points
6
though,
last
right?
time. That's why it gave you the 6 plus 2. Yeah. So yeah, if you subtract a die, you can't run. So therefore, you cannot run up and catch him. You are a terrible runner. You need to
If I fail
work
my
on that.
roll, doesn't that mean I get points towards being a better runner?
That's true, but you can't roll it if there's no dice left.
Damn
And
it.
by fail, you have to crit fail. You have to get a 1.
All right, so what can I do? You're saying I could try to lasso him with my shadow. If that doesn't work, I'm out of luck.
Pretty
Just
much.
gets away.
Pretty much. You can move like 1 box closer, but that's not close enough to change the difficulty.
All right, so what do I roll to try to lasso him?
You're extra normal.
Would I roll solidify shadow?
If there was already the shadow of a lasso handy, yes.
Okay, so just a straight extra normal roll.
Right. You could, in theory, like, make a shadow with a wooden sword, grab the shadow with solidify shadow, and have an actual sword, because all the shadow has to do is look like something. But there's you'd have to take some time and creativity to go find something that already looks like a lasso in the shadows to grab it and use it.
I'm guessing 11 does not cut it. You said it would have to be like a 20, right?
Right. Sorry.
All right, so I guess he gets away.
Yeah, he just splits.
All right.
You know what else works? Since it's already, this scene's over, is saying, "Hey, stop."
I'll yell at him. Wait, I just want to talk.
You already try to tackle him twice. He's out.
All right. Oh.
Because he was looking, and you started. And then he knew he got caught, so he started to leave. But yeah, you jumping him was like, what?
All right,
Meanwhile,
so what's Tom's reaction to all this?
Well,
Tom was having
I'm
a
probably like
fascinating conversation.
way too deep into trying to explain the Mycenaean pod contraption to the guy.
Notice that Ezra took
this-
off running.
Yes, to probably notice.
he's just my Saiyan-splaining at this point. The guy's like, I got it.
All right.
I got it. I get you. Push here. I get it.
Does the
I
other
don't
guy
want to
notice
hear
what I took
how
off?
your biochemistry works anymore. So gross.
And then afterwards, like after Tom is satisfied, speaking with him, Tom looks for Ezri. Ezri?
Did the shopkeeper notice that I took off running?
The people in those shops in that area did see like you chasing a gnome through the streets, and then they saw the gnome get away. Nobody, the gnome wasn't yelling for help, and you didn't yell for help, so they don't know if he was a thief or if you're mugging him. They don't know what's going on, and nobody's yelling for help, so they just don't get involved.
But to be fair, I am wearing a guard uniform, so there is that.
That's true, which means they don't have to get involved.
And they just witnessed an incompetent
They're
guard
like,
trying
this
to
is a
capture
government
someone.
problem. This has nothing to do with us.
Actually, because you're wearing a guard uniform, there'll probably be like one person that's out there just like kind of giggling at the guard failing to catch somebody.
Just imagine this is exactly the same feeling as a cop going into the hood and trying to chase a guy, and then that dude gets
Right.
away and he like falls in the mud. And then
Somebody
all
from the
other
magic
people
stop
They're
steps
like,
out with a weird box, and they're totally filming
He
you.
got away.
So someone from the magic shop is filming you. I got you on camera. You're on camera.
It'll be on
Brutality.
medieval YouTube.
All right. So meanwhile, Erda and White Ape, you feel as if the descriptions of the East Side slums may have been too kind as you follow the path that no longer has enough stones in place to be called a cobblestone road. There are some wooden structures that look like they were intended to be shops and inns, but they are beyond dilapidated. Dilapidated, fun word. Large portions of the buildings are missing, may have burn marks, and others are caved in from rot. They are still in use mostly as the slum residents have tied tarps and blankets up in such a manner that these derelict frameworks might be deemed shelter. There are some vendors still working in the streets selling miscellaneous used and filthy wares in crates that they jealously guard, or offering food that doesn't look particularly palatable. There is boiled rats on sticks, parcels of moldy bread, rotten fruit from barrels that reek of unsanitary fermentation. There's a smell about this entire area that is kind of a sewage BO combo that makes you regret the fact that you breathe air.
So, Erda definitely looks like he does not belong here, both in terms of his appearance as well as the shock and dismay that is written all over his face.
And his
We're walking through.
glorious, finely crafted elven greatsword on his back doesn't look like it belongs here either. Like I could buy a house for that.
True.
So why do people live here?
Good question.
I know, right? There's perfectly good woods out there.
We were in them for quite a while. It wasn't too bad.
I lived in the mountains. It was much better than this.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying on our way here, we were in those woods for a while, and it was pretty nice.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad.
But they choose to live in this here?
Maybe they
Weird.
don't get to choose. Maybe they're just not let out of the city.
You think they're
Is this
slaves?
where they keep slaves?
Could be slaves.
Yeah, this city is.
Bust down the wall. You're free. All the
Yeah.
homeless people. What?
Yeah. No, I just imagine all the homeless people do just run out like all, we're free. And they're just like, no, you're just, we're gonna need to round those guys up.
They got all caught up in it, and then they get out and they don't know what to do next.
Yeah, they're like, wait, what are we doing?
They're like
And
a,
then a
They
few
build like an
eventually
Ewok
become
village out of
owlbear.
trash.
they're like a cat who bolted out the door and just like, well, now what?
What the hell is this place?
And then one
Everything
of them
is so
becomes
shiny.
owlbear chow.
That's like a Simpsons gag where, they're always like, we freed you, animal. Go be free. And then a hawk come down, picks it up, and leaves
Yeah.
as soon as.
Very much how it would go.
No.
All right. So what are y'all doing?
So we need to find Airdrek, who was spotted by Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend.
And did he have giant balls?
Yes, yes. I do remember.
Extraordinarily large balls, yeah.
I do
Completely unrelated to anything else, though. I'm not even sure why he showed it to us.
That was the rumor. I'm pretty sure none of it is true, though.
Yeah, apparently that's what they say at Trinidad and Tobago. None of that actually happened. It's an urban
That is
legend.
why you don't trust the cousin, a friend of your cousin, a friend of a person of a friend. Like, that's not.
That's why you don't take medical advice from rappers. That's what you don't do. You stick with doctors.
Some rappers might. I mean, I imagine Dr. Dre had to have received some kind of education if he's going to use that nomenclature.
I don't think that's how that works.
For sure.
Yeah, I think you're better off listening to the CDC. I'm just saying.
And Shaq has an honorary doctorate.
But...
I think. I'm pretty sure he has an honorary doctorate. Jack.
Yeah,
he raps.
I'm going to listen to the people who have actual doctorates.
I believe that was
the honorary ones.
I believe that was
Shaq Fu.
I believe that was Joe Rogan's doctor who prescribed him horse dewormer for his
ivermectin.
Yeah. He literally got a
Yeah,
prescription.
but at least his doctor gave him a human-sized dose of it, not a livestock dose.
That
Because,
said,
Some
Those are the
people like
people-
eating paste, Corey. Don't judge us.
that said,
Those are the people who end up in the hospital, or the ones who take
The-
the livestock doses of stuff.
yeah. That said, that doctor must be like a snake oil. So he's like, step right up for ivermectin. It cures what ails you. You know, like.
I feel like Joe Rogan was like, look, I want all these drugs. And his doctor was like, yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
Joe
care what
Rogan.
you
Just
want.
whatever you want, take it.
Yeah, whatever. I don't get paid enough for this job. Are
I'm
you
okay
kidding me?
with
I pay you
that.
$500,000 a year. Oh yeah. Whatever.
Anyways,
You pay me too much for this job.
we must find Airdrek.
Indeed.
Airdrek, where could he be?
I'm not telling you what
No.
to do. Y'all can stay there.
I am, by my description, what my description was in building up toward is that I am not a social person. Even less so when I feel threatened by my simple existence in this area. So I'm going to be being as perceptive as possible to keep an eye out for anybody who is catching attention, given the fact that this place is probably filled with people who do not give a shit about whatever weird thing is running around. Like, I imagine there's like goats with 6 heads and like fish that are breathing and walking around with suitcases.
I'm
And
surrounded by.
everybody's just like, this is
Do you have yours
normal.
with you?
I'm surrounded.
Huh?
Is Rudel there?
Yeah. I've been riding him around.
All right.
Yeah, you're surrounded
Um,
by people who want to probably kick your ass. It's like you're in high school again.
Yeah.
Erda, you can, as you scan the area, make a acumen search or acumen street, depending on what you want to do, what you're looking for.
I'm doing search for sure, because my character's not like, I don't know if I should say wise or just like not experienced enough to really be a streetwise individual.
Okay.
So straight up, just using my
I bet-
peepers.
I bet you're gonna spot like homeless people with like knives and forks looking at Rudel like they're imagining me like riding a turkey that's been cooked.
Somebody runs
it's
up with,
you
like, a
riding a
milk
turkey, and then
jug.
it becomes a turkey riding another turkey, and they're just like, "Oh, it's so everything is food."
You find out, you notice that there's actually somebody under Rudel trying to milk him, but didn't know it was him.
You're really not giving up, huh? That's vigorous.
It's okay.
That is
Rudel likes that.
Vigorous.
Oh.
It's like, that's not
City
the kind of
Slickers.
milk you were expecting, sir.
Do you see the City Slickers too with John Lovitz?
He's not. He's
The cow's name is Norman. You
He's
were
not-
pulling on his.
he's
Yeah,
not.
that's
He's not
very
gonna stop until he
wrong.
gets milk, huh?
Wrong. Ew.
All right.
Yeah. So
You're fairly perceptive as you look about.
they called me in high school fairly perceptive.
It's exciting information. As
Fairly
you look
presentable.
around, trying to spot things that are out of the ordinary, you do see there is one of the dilapidated buildings. You do see that it's been slightly rebuilt underneath the original structure. Like the original structure looks rotten, but there are boards on the inside that are like not just holding it up, but they actually look newer than the outside. So you think that that building looks like it'll probably stay up better, and there seems to be more people coming in and out of it. With that roll, I'll also give you that. I don't know what else I feel like you should notice with that. There are a couple of fellows down there that also kind of stand out a little bit, like their clothes aren't total crap, like they're not worn out enough, and those guys they look like they may be hiding some decent weaponry underneath their cloaks.
Do I see any
And they're human.
insignia of the what was it called? The Underguild? The I think I wrote it down somewhere.
The Underguild.
Isn't
You
that
don't
what they
know
were
the
called?
location of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Does it look like these people? Do I see any like I guess there wouldn't really be an identifier for this, but I was gonna say, do I see anything like that would lead me to believe that this could be where the Underguild?
Unfortunately, it's written in Thieves' Cant, and you don't have that.
Yeah, that's fair. It's fair.
D&D reference. All right, so no, there's no Thieves' Cant in this world. But
Why didn't I multi-class into rogue?
Yes, thieves literally can't in this world.
all right, so the two humans that kind of stand out, you realize they actually stand out for another reason. Most of the people in the slums here are dwarven. There's occasionally a few elves, but mostly it's dwarves. And the elves that you see are like white ape. They're wood elves. None of them seem to be glowing. And for the most part, though, it's dwarves with scraggly beards, and a few humans. But the two healthier looking humans in the cloaks, they are not next to the structure that you see that looks like it's reinforced. But there
They
are
just
people
happen
going
to
in
be-
and out of that.
They just happen to be like on the street, but look out of place considering.
They look out of place to you because you really made a good roll. You made a 16.
Yeah. To notice that they had better clothing and stuff. Okay. I'll point out the two people to White Ape. I go, hey,
Hey,
don't stare, but there are two individuals. They look almost like they're dressed like rangers. They're cloaked in the corner. I think one of them has a longsword under his cloak, and the other one has some kind of armor on. I'm not sure.
what do they have to do with Erdrick?
I don't know, but they don't look like they're from around here. Just keep an eye out. Be aware.
You think they're gonna jump us?
No, but they might be vigilant of the area, and maybe something might be going down.
I have a big stone fist.
That probably will help. There's also this building over here. You see how the floorboards on the inside look like they've been updated? They're just
no,
much
but I'll
more
take your word
fit.
for it. Let's go. That sounds like a great place. Let's go over there and see if they've seen Erdrick. Because people who are
Okay.
just gotten here, they probably don't know what an Erdrick is. We gotta find Erdrick.
Yeah, that's true. We could just ask if they've seen anybody talking in a weird language.
Yeah, he only speaks reptile. Are there reptile people around?
No, it looks like mostly dwarves. I mean, there's
Corey, you can
another
make a
wood elf.
spot check or a search check. Not spot.
Sure.
Wrong game. Oh, you remember what spot's from? Is that was the third edition? D&D?
Damn.
Made a 17er.
Oh, look at you. All right. Look around, and yeah, actually, there is a reptile. He looks like just a poor beggar, but there is one, kind of a little ways down.
Let's go talk to the reptile first. Then we'll circle back to the. I
The
get
rest of these fools?
Yeah, let's talk to the reptile guy. We'll give him like a coin, like a copper or two, or
I mean, if you have copper.
do you not have copper?
I don't have any copper.
I have
no.
I have gold. I have 0.37 gold pieces. So yes, I have copper.
0.37, is that what you said?
Yes. That's how much gold I have.
0.37.
0.37, which means 7 copper, 3 silver, I believe.
Or 37 copper. How you want to break up your change? I do not.
I have exactly 1 gold, which I imagine is literally 1 gold coin. So I was like, no, I don't got copper.
Do you have change? You give it
I
to
just
the
have my 1 gold coin.
you give it to the bum. I expect you to break that.
Yeah. I'm gonna need at least.
May I have some change back, please? I like to be charitable, but not too charitable.
He's like, oh yeah, I'll let me go to the register in the back right over there. Never comes back.
Right? I'll be right back, I promise.
He's
Never
got a
seen
pocket
Your
fan.
sheets real quick.
So I give you like 2 copper pieces, and I say, you're gonna speak Reptile. I can't speak Reptile, so you're gonna help. You're gonna give him that.
Okay. I think back for a moment. Is it culturally acceptable to bribe people in Reptile? Is there like a term for bribery?
There
That's
is
a
a
good
term for it.
question.
Yes. You can make up whatever sound you like to be the lizard language sound for bribery.
Why are we?
May I bribe you, sir?
This is not a bribe. Yeah, you
If
walk
you
up.
would like a
Excuse me,
a
sir.
free
Do
fake
you
point,
take
I'll let you
bribes?
design the entire lizard language.
Would you like a bribe, my good sir? As he's like, is it bribing if you're donating to a peasant? Indeed.
Yeah, it seems like bribery should be for elected officials and the like.
Yes.
Indubitably.
The wealthy.
Really,
charity
really,
if it's a beggar.
really, all Reptile is just British. It's like British English. Cockney.
It's Cockney. Hi there, Governor.
Oh,
So,
don't you mean
to
German?
get to the
Let me
reptile,
go.
Can I have some
I'll
more?
go. It seems that you are down on your luck, I say in Reptile.
just so you're aware, you do end up walking past both that structure I described and those 2 guys that roll a ways down the street.
Okay.
They don't like come at you when you pass them or anything, just so you're aware, but that you did pass them.
Yeah.
It's okay. I have a stone fist.
You walk by with your fist up.
Stone.
Don't you
I
mess
think
with
he
me. Don't
understands.
you mess with me.
My name is Fisto. I have a fist.
Oh.
All right. You get up to the reptile. He is, or the reptile, they are, I guess, because you don't know the gender of it, is sitting kind of cross-legged, like hunched down. It's got just rags over it and kind of a hood that's just formed out of some old, like sun-faded brown cloth. And it has like a jar, or I should say a cup, a metal cup with bugs in it, and it eats a bug as you're walking up. Oh yeah, I can roleplay it with an almond. Or is it a roach? Can you tell on this screen? I think it looks like an almond.
Delicious.
Yeah, Howard, we want to see that role plate. Come on, get to it.
I don't have roaches. It's actually a nice apartment. All right, so you approach it, and it eats a bug.
It looks like you're down on your luck, friend. I say in Reptile, obviously.
I was wondering if you would switch to reptile. Okay.
Well, yeah.
When it hears its own language, it looks up kind of in what you assume is surprise on its weird lizard face.
Would you like some bug?
The reptile you have seen before, she was an Asdar, the reptile bard.
Mm-hmm.
She had feathers like in a mohawk, and just places where feathers grew out of her. Whereas this one he's a little huskier. His eyes are kind of like bulbous and stick out. He is more like a chameleon, maybe.
Okay.
His scales look kind of right now they look like a dull brown.
The guy gets all
And
offended.
the eyes just rotate up at you and look at you. His head doesn't move.
The guy gets all offended. He's like, You think just because I'm a lizard man I speak reptile? I'm from
I should say,
Vallanthia. We
he
speak
pulls the hood
Vallanthia
back,
here.
and then the eyes roll up.
I just imagine he licks one of his eyes for a second and then.
Oh, we'll get there.
Yeah.
It's on my list of reptile quirks. No worries.
Great. I go. I've been on the lookout for a friend of mine who has a similar trait to you and me. Probably the only other the only other individual I've seen in this city that speaks reptile that isn't actually a reptile. Maybe you've seen my friend.
Also responding in reptile because you started that.
Yeah.
I do not know you. I do not know many like you that speak our language. What do you want with this person? Why would I get involved?
He could be in danger if he is in the city on his own. I wish to ensure that he is protected and bring him back into the fold.
Now, why would I get involved? Can y'all hear me? I'm doing like a really low voice. So
Yeah,
I can hear
Yeah,
you.
we can hear
Okay,
you.
good.
I go, well, I can certainly try to make it worth your while as I drop the coins that White Ape gave me into his cup. He's like, God damn it, that's where my food goes. You gross ass coins on my bugs.
Well, how, was it 7 copper? Is that what you gave him?
Yeah,
Corey?
the copper. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Make a persuasion check.
Okay, I'll try it. 8.
You want to spend a character point on that?
I'll spend a character point. Yeah, it's worth it.
Oh, natural 1.
One more of those out.
There
11.
you go.
11. That's good enough with a bribe for a poor person.
He looks at you for a moment, and his eyes rotate down and look at the cup. You do see the dismay in his face, as you did to actually just dump it on his food.
Damn.
He picks the coins out and he puts them somewhere underneath the rags.
In
He's quiet
reptiles,
for a moment.
in lizard folks' natural marsupial pouch where they keep all their coins.
Like the koala bear, it's not a bear. He's a marsupial as well. He's a koala lizard.
Yeah, it makes sense.
How
Kind of like a
does that
platypus.
work?
And like the koala, he's
Does not work.
covered
I
in
don't know. Corey's always
chlamydia.
said I had a pouch.
Weirdo. That does not make any sense.
Dude,
Marsupials are
platypuses
mammals.
don't make any sense either, but they exist.
Koalas are
This is
covered
true.
in chlamydia. I'm just saying.
And neither do giraffes, really. Giraffes don't make any goddamn sense
Giraffes
either.
don't. Tarek likes to walk up to animals and shake them. Why don't you make any sense?
Exactly. Hey, hey, you goddamn giraffe! You're not even real. Get out of here. Take that mask off. I know it's just a zebra trying to show off. Get out of here. Who does your costuming, by the way? Fantastic.
As the zebra donkey kicks you in the chest. I heard that they're mean suckers.
Dude, so are giraffes, to be honest. Giraffes will also, like, whack you with their neck and can kill you.
Yeah, no surprise there.
I imagine that role was him resisting my bribe, and he just looks up at me again and he's
No,
like,
we're totally
I don't
bent.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Actually, he looks up at you, and he thinks back and says, I did hear. Oh, that's right. I was supposed to do that. It was hard to do that really gravelly voices for me. I did hear that there was someone who was speaking reptile. I didn't seek him out. but I know that he went by there, and he points to that structure that I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
There's food in there. He may have gotten food. Then after that, I haven't seen him. I don't know where he went next.
Thank you for your help. I drop him a ration.
He looks at it. He smells it. I assume it's not an old bad ration or anything.
No, perfectly good ration.
All right. Then it gives you a nod.
It's a pizza MRA, one of the better ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
No, it's the burrito one. I don't want to give him the good stuff.
Anyway, there are MRIs that are good stuff, or MRA, or whatever they're called.
They actually are some good, really good MREs.
MRI
That's
is
a
like
history, MRE.
Yeah, the MREs. There are some good MREs. There are a lot of bad ones, but there are some good ones.
Okay. So where are y'all going next? I think I know where you're going, but
to that structure. Well, no, I'm not doing anything. I'm just like waiting for.
Yeah, I walk back up to White Ape and I go, okay, I think he may have been in the structure at one point in time. Apparently, they give out food to those who are in need, supposedly.
Oh, well, that's nice. That's a really great place. Let's go on over there.
I don't know 100% what we're going to encounter in there, but we should be on our guard.
Okay. I have a stone fist.
Yeah.
It's made of
It's
stone.
And I'm
He's
very fast
very
on my...
proud, apparently.
The entire structure is a mimic soup kitchen.
Yeah.
That's one way to get rid of the homeless in a town. Oh my god.
That is
That's fucking awful.
That is
Holy
a genius
crap.
plot
So
device, though.
wrong.
Could you imagine having a D&D game where you're like your group stumbles upon a town that literally just all the homeless people are always gone? You just find out that it's a soup kitchen that's eating them.
That is messed up, dude.
Hello.
That's like a great evil.
Yeah, that's pretty.
start to
Hello,
an evil
traveler.
campaign.
Do you
All right,
have
Howard,
money
you know
for
what to
our
do
wares?
next.
And for no, we don't have any money. Oh, well then, you'll want to go to the Mystic Soup Kitchen. All the vagabonds and beggars go there.
I don't know. The last time I walked
eyes.
by that place, I could have sworn I heard it burp. No, you're just hearing things, please.
Oh, so wrong.
Hey, can you get up off your mic a little bit there, Tarek? You're kind of
Sorry.
you're doing like this is all. It's not good. It's not good.
I apologize.
Ah, there you go. Much better.
Why do you think all the fallen nobles avoid that place? They
All
skip
right.
town, actually.
Into the
Come
Mystic
on,
Soup
Jess.
Kitchen we go.
You walk back by those two guys. They like follow you with their eyes, and one of them guy looks at the homeless fellow you talk to. But they still don't seem to move. And then you go into the structure.
Okay.
There's no one like guarding it. There's no guards at the door. No one stops you. In fact, it's more of a doorway than a door.
Imagine it had like the bead thing.
The what thing?
Like beads.
No, it's an
bead.
opium, and it's
Yeah,
an opium
like-
den.
Yeah, I
can't
heard
think
bee.
of
I like
a-
honeybee.
A bead threshold.
It's more like there's a bit of loose tarp hanging down
Hey,
Oh,
can
yeah.
or canvas.
can Rudel make it through the door?
I mean,
Yes,
he's like the
but your
size of a
head hits
donkey,
the
so he
ceiling.
could if you try to bring him through.
Sure, I'll do that.
You don't think it's safe to leave Rudel just tied up outside?
No, I don't think it's very safe out there. No. Like Rudel can defend himself, but you know, I'd rather be there for backup.
Okay. So you go into the structure, and the inside is slightly better looking than the outside. Like I say, the wood that's been put up is newer and fresher and not rotten. So the inside looks like it'll stay up. It still doesn't look fancy by any means. In fact, it looks more like somebody constructed a treehouse, type structure inside of a house that was falling down.
Yeah. Makes sense. It's like patched up renovations, but just like a, you know, bare minimums.
They didn't hire Tom to come do it. This is just somebody trying to guess where to put things. And
Yeah. It still creaks, but it's sturdy.
right. And as far as the inside goes, it's actually a pretty big room. There are some people sitting around in corners eating. There are some like chairs just kind of scared about with people on them eating. The chairs don't match each other. There's only one actual table with some people sitting at it. And then there are a couple areas where it's just like groups of people sitting in a circle. And I should have said earlier that there's smoke coming out of a chimney because there is fire in here. One of the main reasons that most of the homeless are in here is because it's warm and it's cold outside.
Yeah. And food.
So you see a lot of that. There are rooms that go off to other areas that you can't really see into because none of you have X-ray vision. Well, I don't know why you didn't start with that. It's so useful.
I thought about it, but then I decided to make sure that I had nicer shoes, so I spent those points on money.
All right. So you're in a room full of homeless people sitting around eating.
You want to talk to someone?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Who would I talk to?
Some of them do look up and notice you, but nobody like gets up to stop you or.
I don't
see if
see
there's anyone organizing this place. Why don't you mingle with some of the people here, see if you can find anything out?
I don't see Airdrick in here.
Well, yeah, I said he came through here. He had come to eat here, supposedly.
Oh. Well, who's in charge here? Maybe they've seen him.
I don't know. That's why I said I was going to go look for whoever's organizing this. But if I go look for them, someone needs to ask around here. Maybe someone's seen him.
Oh, I take it back. Some people are definitely staring at White Ape because he let a goat into here.
Yeah, they're like, oh, he brought food.
A giant
It's
goat.
going to be seconds tonight.
And he let it with a rock arm.
We'll have kebabs for everyone. Yeah, so I look around to see if there's anyone organizing other people, like trying to keep things orderly.
Not in this room.
Is there another room adjoining this?
Yes, there's the doorway you came in. Imagine this is a big rectangle. There's doors to the left, right, and forward. So there are 3 more doors other than the one you just used.
I'm gonna go for the forward.
Okay. You do that. You go to the forward door, and it is just a staircase going up. And the stairs look questionable. And it goes up into another doorway, so it like above you, so you can't actually see what's up there without climbing those stairs.
I think back to myself. This building was kind of broken down on the outside. Is it even safe to go upstairs?
There's a lot of light coming through from the upstairs.
Has anyone taken notice of me walking toward this door and like going?
Yeah, people have seen you walk through, and like nobody's like stopping you.
Okay, then I'll start walking upstairs.
All right. Go ahead and make a. I'm gonna go with something athletic, like agility. If you have a skill, they'll help you get up these things. A climbing type skill. Go ahead and teach me what skill you want to use.
I'm just rolling agility because that's the only skill that I have in agility. That's the only relevant thing that I have.
Yeah. Okay. So acrobatics and climbing I would have allowed, but you don't have them, so.
Yeah.
All right. With a 12, yeah, you get up there, and as you're taking some of the steps, you feel it like about to break beneath your foot, and you pull your foot off, and you find better places to step. Get to the top, and it looks like there used to be a second story, and most of that is just gone, and that's why there's so much light coming through.
Because it's this.
So basically, you're standing in a room where half the room is open air.
Yeah.
And whole area is covered in bird poop. There are a couple of people up here. Looks like they were having a conversation. They look up and they stare at you, like, we come up here to be alone, dude. Come on.
Yeah. Either of them look familiar.
They look like 2 bums.
Okay. I look at them and go, have you seen a man here? He had Oasili, I just want to make sure I'm remembering this correctly. Erdrek had tattoos. Were they tattoos on his skin or were they actual scales? Because I remember you saying he had like
He had scars, these symbols like carved into his skin, not tattoos though, but they're the scars.
Like
made the-
scarification.
yeah. Wasn't
Yeah,
there
he had
something else,
that,
though?
but he was a bald guy with human skin, no
I thought,
scales.
I thought he had a scaly, like a phase or a scaly something. Okay.
Not to my memory.
I will then describe Airdrek and ask if anyone has noticed a man by that description.
Go ahead and give me some charisma check here. Do you have anything to persuade them to talk?
I have persuasion and I have metal.
Metal is your willpower.
Okay, so persuasion then.
Right.
I do have charisma persuasion. 10.
Okay.
So I'm not like an asshole to them. I'm just like probably not the most elegant.
See if they know anything. You described him. You mentioned that he only spoke reptile and he had the scars and all that.
Mhm.
And after a moment, they talk to each other, and you think you overhear one of them going, "Oh, we saw him earlier," and the other one's like, "We don't know him." They look at you and they're like, "We can't help you."
What if I told you I was a friend?
Not my friend.
Look, if you tell me what you know, I'll make it worth your while. I pull out a gold coin.
All right, I'll give you another persuasion check for that.
Okie doke. 12. I will spend a character point. 14. I will spend another character point. 16. 16 is I'll stay.
They look at each other for a moment. Then one of them rises, and it's a human and a dwarf. And the dwarf rises and turns to you, and you realize, one, it's a female dwarf. You weren't sure at first because she has a very husky, almost masculine voice, but her shape, you're like, oh, that's a woman, I think. And she makes her way towards you. She does have kind of a scraggly beard, but it's a lot less than most of these city dwarves. The other person was human, and she'll reach out for the coin and wait.
I'll flip it over to her.
Okay. She takes it and looks at you and goes, "Yeah, we saw him. He was here earlier. He ate looked like some of the beans, and then after that he went out the back.
Went out the back.
Yeah, you go down. She tells you just go downstairs, and from this angle, she's telling you to go left, which would have been if you had turned right to begin with.
Okay.
You said, yeah, that room has a door that goes after the back. Actually, the wall's not there. You just go after the back."
All right, thank you. I turn, start trying to make my way down the stairs again without breaking my neck.
All right, make another agility roll.
Yeah.
It's slightly less difficult this time, though. All right.
11.
Yeah, it's slightly less difficult because you already made it once, so you kind of just aim for some of the same spots.
Nice.
And since they go there
I
all the
feel
time, they know where to step. They know the secret the combo.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you go downstairs and you look out, and there's that room that she described. That is where somebody's dishing out food. And you can smell it as you actually stick your head in. There's somebody who's cooking food. There are beans, carrots, some other vegetables, and some meat that looks semi-questionable. There's more rat kebabs.
Ooh, delicious rat kebabs. After poking my head in, I poke my head back out and kind of look for White Ape to see if I can spot him.
There's the man that's there is a big, like, kind of built looking fellow, dark skinned human. And he just looks at you, he's like, you don't look like you belong here, son. You lost?
Perhaps you could say so. I'm looking for someone who I have indeed lost. His name is Eric. He looks like a human who has seen better days. He has the scars on his body, and he has a difficulty speaking Vallantian.
There are a lot of humans here that match that description.
I was told he went out the back way. He was here earlier today.
If I see you causing any trouble for the people here, you know I'm gonna take offense.
Trust me, I do not seek to cause any trouble for anyone here.
I'm gonna make a streetwise check to kind of size you up, even though I, as the game master, already know what the truth is. This fella, you know, look like a rich elf. You don't belong here. Darn you! I lost that 6. So he just looks at you with distrust, but he doesn't know what to make of you.
Okay.
Well, I mean that's still a 10. So he doesn't like have a reason to distrust you. So we'll just go with that.
Okay. I pop my head back out of the doorway and kind of look to see where White Ape's at.
Okay. Are you just still in that main room?
I was told to mingle and get information.
Okay.
So while he was upstairs doing that, I am wowing the crowd with goat tricks to get the crowd to enjoy me.
All right. I guess that'd be animal handling.
I don't want to know what his goat tricks are.
Oh, I rolled a 1 on my wild die.
You've heard of a donkey show, right?
Yeah, but I've never heard of a goat show. Wait.
I imagine it's the same. They said it was the size of a donkey.
Goat show?
He's going to start by donkey punching the goat.
You're a sick man, Howard.
Goat show doesn't sound like a
Hey,
Oh,
haven't
the
told you that
disadvantages
lately.
of having friends in the military that tell you what donkey and goat shows are.
Do you know
The
what
internet told me.
I just
Don't
imagined,
ask him what donkey punch means. I
I
don't
was
want to
thinking
hear it
it was
again.
I was thinking it was a goatee situation, but I can imagine why people wouldn't want to.
Well, I made a 9 on my roll for goat
I
tricks.
see that.
So I guess I didn't do very well, but whatever.
Your goat show was
Yeah, you get the
Character
goat to
point,
like
man.
kind of rear up and on its back legs and come back down, and you give it a treat, and everybody looks at you like, whatever, man.
Ta-da! Rock hand!
Hold on, what'd you say, Corey?
You said rock hand.
You missed the
rock.
show, man. You missed the show.
He's really
Like,
selling it again.
from my end to out my speakers, it sounded like rock shaw. It's like, what?
That's how I bring it home, baby. That's what the women like.
The rock hand.
They like the rock fisting? Seems unlikely.
Oh, no.
Mm-mm.
So I am
Well, he can
unsuccessfully
change
wowing
the
the
shape of
crowd
it with his magic. I
with my
suppose.
weird goat tricks and generally being a nuisance to people.
Right. Okay. So
I just imagine he's
I-
like, check it out, guys. My goat can eat anything. And then the goat literally just grabs someone's sandwich out of their hand. Like,
Eats it.
you can't stop him. He's a goat.
Better than eating an audience member or something.
it was just
Everybody-
It's not gonna go on a random cannibalism spree, just destroying people, and it's not a dire goat.
Isn't it wonderful, everybody? Isn't it wonderful?
You see a homeless little girl like trying to hold her scalp together while Rudel is just chewing on her hair.
I just imagine him,
Ew.
it's eating all the food and like crapping in the common area. So everybody's just like, can we get this goddamn goat out of here?
It's not crapping everywhere. I didn't roll under a 5. It's,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
you didn't
I just
fail.
imagine like it's an animal, so like it's eating and like doing goat stuff.
And so yeah, after you do a couple of tricks that seems to get nobody excited, you could think of a couple of better tricks that you're not sure you should do inside a building, and you're like, constraints here. As you see Erda come down and step into that side room, and you hear voices, and then y'all can be caught up and
Okay.
reunite if you'd like.
hey, Erda, no one likes my goat tricks.
They're just not used to goats in the city.
I guess not.
Maybe they've never even seen a goat.
No, that's
Might
not
scare some people.
true. There are goats. I've seen other goats in here.
Yeah,
They're
but
just like
Not
little
that size,
goats.
but you have seen
how
them.
often have these guys left to go all over the city?
They're just like the goats around here are like really small and malnourished.
Do you want some beans?
No.
Okay, then we should probably go this way. They said some dwarf upstairs said that they saw Airdrek leave out the back way this way.
Okay. Let's go find Eldrick.
All right, the goat though is not going to fit through the doorway that goes to that side room, so you probably are going to have to go around the building.
All right. I'll meet you on the other side.
Sounds good.
I'll go out the front door and
The beans
I'll come around to where he is on the back.
The beans really do smell good, I say before I leave.
They smell a little bit garlicky, like he spiced them.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, my character's a vegetarian, so he's appreciating the fact that these guys are enjoying a nice vegetarian meal. No,
Right next to a rat on a stick.
Does rat really count? Come on.
It's
Kinda like
more of a
third
pescatarian diet.
Pescatarian.
Nice. This is for D&D. I give you an inspiration, sir.
All right. As soon as I see White Ape, I start trying to basically track, see if I can pick up any movement from this area. See if there's, how much, how heavily trafficked the area is.
So the back of the building, when you get there, is it's like an alley between the building and a wall of the city. This whole area is just littered with garbage, loose papers and old blankets and pieces of cloth and pieces of wood and debris. You would guess there have been a number of people that have evacuated their systems out here.
Oh yeah.
So
The
there's
smell.
There's a
smell.
pleasant smell that is not pleasant. I was gonna go somewhere with that, but I don't know where it was. So it's not what I'm saying is it's kind of awful. And you look like left and right along the wall, and you don't immediately see anybody. And then after a moment, you realize, yeah, some of these lumps around here look like it could be somebody like cuddled under a cloak trying to stay warm against the wall. I guess there are homeless people out here too.
I yell out, Airdrek, you back here? Airdrek. Hello, Airdrek. I don't know if he's back here.
And then you hear him hissing in response. Ah, that's him.
Or cat.
Y'all can make search checks.
Yeah, I'll do a search check. I was actually gonna offer up the idea of a survival check as well.
I have tracking,
Yeah.
the skill tracking, but I'll do search first.
Well, you can do. I'll allow tracking.
Okay. It's the same roll. It's 3 and 3 for +1.
Oh, okay.
So it's the same either way.
All right. The difficulty, unfortunately, is higher when you're not in a natural setting.
Yes.
Although that's a really good search check.
Yeah, I don't have tracking. I have.
So you try to use your tracking skill or search, either one, but you are not. The footprints just aren't really sticking. There are a couple places where you're like, oh, this puddle, and then you're like, oh, this puddle is ice. So you can't really track it, or you can't find anything that really says who, that he went through here. Also, he has human feet, and everybody around here seems to have human feet.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
And as for Erda, with a 20, you as he's yelling Airdrek, and you're searching around, you did see some rustling, like a little ways down, like facing the building. Turn right down the alley, but like a ways, you saw something move, but you're not sure if that's significant or not. But you definitely did see something happen when he was yelling.
Okay. If I see something and it's further down in the alleyway, I will look over at White Ape and kind of like motion toward where it is, and then like, let's go check it out.
Where?
All right, I'll jump my goat over there.
Okay. There's like, nah. I mean, the whole area is icy, but your goat is used to walking around mountaintops, so I'm gonna not require a roll.
I am unfortunately not accustomed to running around.
So the question is, are you running or walking?
I was gonna move quickly. Yeah, I was gonna try to run over there.
Okay, well then go ahead and you will make a. You can do physique running, unless you have something else you think would be appropriate. If you don't have physique running, it's straight physique.
Yeah.
Okay. But you said you were trying to hurry, so unfortunately, you're gonna go, and you slip.
I'm going really fast.
You can roll your straight physique, or you can roll physique stamina if you'd like to try and absorb.
Hey,
you did. You only took a die of damage, so you absorbed it. It hurt a little bit, but you're fine. Nothing lasting.
Yeah, I just slipped and smacked my bum on the ground.
Pretty much.
Ugh. So slippery out here.
Although it was unfortunately White Ape, because he was moving much faster than you on a goat, didn't get to see it, but it did look kind of funny as you slip and you land on your backside and you're just sliding forward on your butt for about 5 feet, and then you stop. It looked really funny, but no one saw.
A bunch of bums are giggling in the corner.
Just from one pile of refuse, you hear one guy go.
I'll clamber back up to my feet and then try to keep up, but a little bit more careful at this point because I don't want to have another slip.
All right. And y'all will make it down there, and I will. Now that you had an idea of where to look, I can give you another search roll when you get there.
Okay.
Or tracking if you wish.
Hey, a 21 this
You
time.
are nailing them search rolls, though.
Ta-da.
All right. I'm going to say that both of you pretty much at the same time are like, aha! You see that, Corey, the way you see it is you can see that there's a path that's been kind of dug and then kind of recovered to the refuse. And you can kind of like track and pinpoint where somebody is currently hiding under stuff. Whereas because you use a different skill, Erdo, what you see basically is the same piece of plywood with a half of a torn piece of canvas like laid over it, is exactly where you saw it move before, but you don't see anything that looks out of place enough to make it look like somebody left from underneath it. You never saw that happen, so that's the spot. You're pretty sure.
All right.
So there, you think that there's someone in the garbage over there hiding.
There's so much garbage here, but I know what to do about that. Goat powers activate.
Rudel begins to eat all of the garbage magically.
But somehow, no signs of stopping.
Is actually a god, Rudel the Destroyer, who's appeared in the form of a goat.
It's like that thing from Rick and Morty. Ooh, I love garbage. Garbage. You have a PhD, dear. Yeah, I know. I should get a better job. Garbage gobbler, we need you. Garbage.
All right.
I'll kind of cautiously walk up to the tarp and plywood and give a light rap on the side, and I'll say in Reptile, if it's you, Erdrek, we're here.
There's like a moment where there's no movement, and then the tarp or the canvas, whatever, is like kind of like pulled aside a little, and you see his bald head and his eyes looking out like he's ready to either fight or run. You're not sure, and then he sees y'all. And he remembers fighting alongside you and all that. I mean, nothing happened to him, other than the insanity that occurred and all the time he spent in isolation in that horrible place.
He's the one who cured him of his demon brain.
You did, but you didn't cure him of the years and years and years of being trapped with a demon in isolation in a asylum.
And the trauma that led up to it.
Yeah.
And he is thrilled not to be in the asylum and afraid that people are going to put him back in the asylum. In fact, if there weren't guards at the front gate, he probably would have run out of the city. But he saw guards and was like, turn.
So I'll tell him.
Hey, Erdrek, this is Rudel. Does he know? Can he? Rootle.
I don't know if it translates correctly, but I'll tell him.
He just stares at you because he didn't know what you're saying.
Yeah, I know.
He looks at Erda.
Yeah, I look over at him and say, he's trying to tell you that he has a goat.
I've seen his goat.
Yeah, I thought so. He was in the prison.
Yeah.
He likes your goat.
Oh, great. Excellent. Find out who's selling books.
Yes, we need to know who the individuals were who were selling the necromantic tomes, the ones who were summoning these demons.
Necromancy doesn't summon demons. I don't know what you're talking about. Remember,
What did he say?
For the record, because I know it was a long time ago, I'm just kind of refresh y'all's memories. Somebody in town, you're pretty sure, is selling necromantic books that is teaching people necromancy, and that's one of the demonic magical arts. And you were hoping to talk to a guy who knew about the demonic magical arts, see if he knew anything else. But he didn't. There was never a connection that said he actually knew who would be selling the books.
That's true. Well, I'll still ask him.
We hate you, Howard.
Do you know if there's
Okay.
Of anyone in the city who was utilizing necromancy or attempting to grow?
What?
I had
They're cool.
I had the thoughts of a rather horrible creature in my head for a long time. So I kind of understand what kind of things you're talking about, but I don't know the specifics. But if what are you asking me? Because I don't know anything about anyone specifically selling books.
What did he say? Who has the book?
We
I
can,
don't
if
think
you'd
he
like to
knows.
assume that he's auto-translating so we can all just talk faster, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I say, wait a minute. The entire point of going down there was because the freaking order person, what's his name?
Valthier?
Valthier.
Yeah, Valthier. Valthier said that Erdrick would know about who would be selling these books. That was
Not
the
correct.
entire point. Balthier said that.
He did not
Hey,
say
Master
He
Peter sent us
did!
on a wild goose
He
chase.
did say that. I
that. No, he
suggested.
literally
He
said.
did, yes. He
He
did
literally
say that.
said that this guy has never been questioned because they couldn't get any information out of him. but he's the only guy he knew that might have information.
Yeah, that's true.
You are unbelievable.
And he might have information if you ask the right
For
question.
nothing. Oh,
There is a group of individuals.
we're going to riot.
I believe they are attempting to form a cult. A cult of dedicated to the eldritch manipulations. I assume, and perhaps wrongly, that the people who did what they did to you were potentially in league with the individuals we sought. Do you know if they are still operating within the city?
I don't know if they're operating within the city, but if somebody is writing these books that you described and giving them away or selling them or whatever, that person is either a very powerful necromancer who can teach this art or is a demon. And if they're making them in the city, then you need to look around the city, I guess. I don't know. Without more information, I'm not sure what else I can help you find.
It's a good point. Who would be strong enough to...
Wait. So he knows there are people. Can we get some names?
I can tell you the names of some demons I've heard of in my head.
I mean, he
I don't
worked
know if
with a
they're here.
cult that summoned demons and
No,
put them in
he
his.
didn't work with
Those
them. He got
people have got to
kidnapped.
have names and still be around.
He got kidnapped by a cult. He didn't work with a cult.
I wasn't a part of the cult. I was forced to do healing for them, and then they used me for a ritual to summon their creature, Valrukar.
But that does make me believe that perhaps there is a demon loose in the city.
Now, I will say this. Humans don't, well, humanoids, humans, maybe even reptile, when they have powers that are secret, they don't normally start cults and teach it to everyone. They use it for themselves. It's the demons that want to spread the knowledge. And if a human was taking on an apprentice, that'd be one thing, but I don't know why a human would take on a whole bunch of apprentices and secretly just pass out the books to see what happened, unless they thought it was funny. The Joker is a necromancer. Just, you have a book and you get a book. Let's watch the city burn.
It's a compelling point. If a demon is the one who is behind this,
Enough demonic energy in the same area makes it easier for demons to get here. So it wouldn't have been Valrukar that would want necromantic energy, because his was different. His was the other kind with the symbols, the rune magic.
yes, he was a rune sorcerer.
Hey, Erdrick, let's come with us back to the murdered squirrel. Like, don't sleep in garbage. We have a room. You can have my spot in it. I don't use it.
If I get seen, I don't want to be taken back to that place. I need to find a way out of here.
Keep your cloak up and walk with us. When we get to the murdered squirrel, we'll figure out a way to get you to someplace safer.
The guards don't care about the murdered squirrel.
That's very true. They do not. You had a hard time getting the guards to go to the murdered squirrel when there was a problem, which made you very mad. Had you go yelling at people.
We definitely did. That is very true. All right. Yeah, I
All
guess
right,
we head back
he'll walk
to the
with you and go to the murdered squirrel. That's fine.
We were supposed to meet everybody back there anyways.
All right.
And look,
Then he goes with you to the murdered squirrel. We'll cut back to Tom and Esri. Is that where you're all headed now, or do you got something else you want to do?
Well, last we left off, I was still at the stall wondering where the heck Esri went off to, and Esri is, well, from my point of view, nowhere to be seen.
I assume she came back. She
I
might not.
did. Yes.
Okay.
After I couldn't catch the gnome, I come back and I'm muttering under my breath and cursing about stupid freaking gnomes.
What happened?
Long story. Did you find out anything useful?
Tom shakes his head.
All right. Is it about time to go meet up with our friends?
We can go.
All right, let's head that way then. I wish we had something more useful to tell them. This
Alright,
day has been a waste.
I have the murdered squirrel up. Y'all can put yourselves anywhere you like. You can have your conversations, share your info. And if you refer to Airdrek, then I will also share info.
I don't see the rest of the cast right now, so I'm just gonna put Tom in the middle of the entrance.
Cool.
Oh, give me a second. I'm working on it.
We're all
There's
on the
Airdrek.
screen. Oh, I guess I'll just drag my guy up back
I
up.
thought you wanted to serve drinks there for a second. Hey, you got a job. I'll put Airdrek at the table with you two then.
So I guess I'll seat myself next to White Ape,
Ooh.
and Esri will sit on top of Airdrek.
That was not
Moving.
intentional.
I can move.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. I just didn't place and quit where I intended to.
You can just yank a chair from somewhere else or a stool and put it over there. And unfortunately, it's part of the actual map, so
I'll
have to
just
assume
stand
we did it.
against this pillar. Fine.
I was like,
Yeah,
here
it's
you go.
kind of annoying that my token
There's
keeps
a chair
moving
for
from where
you.
I'm putting it.
Oh, maybe
No,
make the chair
yeah,
different.
it's not.
There. You
It's
pulled
like-
the bench over.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Need to work on
You
my
know
upstairs.
approximately where I'm trying to go, even if it's not exactly right on the mark.
It looks like you're on the mark. You look fine. Okay, we're all sitting down at the murder squirrel. If y'all want drinks, you have drinks. Up to you.
All right. I'll go ahead and say, well, it looks like you found Airdrek.
As much good as it does, Bathir's an idiot. All of the Azure
What?
Order's an idiot. They're all idiots.
What happened?
So remember how we were going to investigate this entire thing with the books, and the plan was to infiltrate some bad guys and get the information. And Bathir's like, yeah, I know this guy, Airdrek,
Yeah.
who I question, and he has that information. All you have to do is gain his trust. Well, Bathir apparently is a freaking idiot because Airdrek isn't even part of a cult. He was kidnapped by the cult, doesn't know anything about this cult, doesn't know anything.
Are
The
you
reason he
serious?
didn't get any information out of him is because Bathir's an idiot because he didn't have any information.
He does.
You know
have
what?
some
You damn well better pay us this time. We produced the goods. It's
No,
not our
he's
fault
gonna be
that
like,
the
"Where's my
info wasn't
turkey?"
on target.
We'd have to
He
give him
does
Airdrek back, and I'm not giving him Airdrek back. Airdrek deserves better than that.
Well, the
does
point
have-
is we found Airdrek, and Airdrek didn't know anything. That's his problem, not ours.
He does have some interesting information. He's not completely useless. And he is a fairly decent healer.
I didn't say Airdrek's completely useless. None of this is Airdrek's fault.
We're not getting paid, are we?
Yeah, we should have done the guild mission, but that's what I said from the beginning. But no, there's necromantic tomes going about.
Well, I mean, if the city is about to be assailed by demons, this is something that we should probably look into, right?
Look, undead people are different from demons. Why do you keep saying demons? Why do you keep bringing up demons?
Because there might be a demon handing out necromantic tomes to people.
And your evidence for that is what?
I am a scholar of magic.
I'm very important, therefore, whatever I say is true.
Therefore, blah blah blah, science jargon, blah blah blah. I am genius, blah blah blah. Nobel Prize, baby.
He's just trying to confuse us normal folk with his scientific.
Yeah, my magic, my majo babble.
I don't know what he's saying, but he sounds smart, so he must be right.
I do not want to tell Bathir that we found Airdrek, because Bathir will probably go after Airdrek and lock him back up.
He probably does think that Airdrek is evil, even though.
Of course he does, because he's an idiot.
Well, I'm not going to speak on behalf of Vallanthia, that is for sure. Perhaps we should speak with Ka Ellis. Maybe we could redouble our efforts and speak to someone who seems to be very competent in demonology.
Yeah, I'd rather speak to the guy who Bathir says is a thief or some whatever. Yeah, he seems like the better guy, actually. He actually like helped cure you of your demon affliction.
Yeah, your goopiness.
True.
Tom looks at his like skin folds.
Yeah, we're still not completely up to par.
I don't know if I'll ever get used to seeing a mushroom that looks flat.
Flappy.
Odric like reaches out as y'all are like playing with your flaps.
Tom is at least.
Oh, she raised her hand too, so.
I did, yes.
And he says something to you in Reptile, which Erda hears. This can be fixed.
Oh,
Like, can
really?
fix scars.
How do you how would one fix such a thing?
Does the Miyagi thing, like stretches and claps his hands together.
I go, sit still, sit still. I want to see how this works. I take out a notebook.
Okay.
Are you talking to us or to him?
No, I tell you guys to sit still so that he can experiment on you.
Why? What did he say?
Flappy himself.
No. Esri
pull out
looks
a
at you and
notebook
goes,
and
why?
quill.
What did he say? And
9 dice. Okay.
There should be
No, wait. No, I only have 8 dice. For this one.
there should be a way to undo the damage to your cellular tissues.
Cellular?
by all
Seeing next to-
means, tell him to get to work then. I don't want to
guess
walk
he's
around
sitting next
looking
to
like
either
a
one of you.
flapjack forever.
And if it feels strange or has any weird side effects, please do vocalize as much.
Tom, you're odd.
That way,
Oh, I'm odd.
You're
It
odd.
can be
So
documented.
he heals. He's going to put his hands first onto Esri.
To be the guinea pig.
Yeah, that'll do it.
that'll do it.
And he concentrates for a moment. And Esri, you feel your skin as it begins to tighten, not painfully, but just as you feel it shifting and moving. And you realize it is healing, like the damage done to it is being healed. And as that occurs, you see him kind of grunting a little, and his own skin begins to hang off of him in just like folds, as if the scars are his. And then
I
after,
look at you and say, is he okay?
yeah, after a few seconds, you feel fine, and he looks like a mess. But there wasn't any actual damage, just scar tissue technically. At this point, because you're all healed. So he does that, just hanging on him. But then after a couple of minutes, the damage on him begins to fade. Well, actually, I have to roll that too.
Tarek,
So does he
No,
have
no,
like
he's-
what Wolverine's healing factor?
Well, no, he can't use it on himself, but technically it's not real damage, it's a scar. So I think it just passes. So after a few moments, it just begins to slowly, not as fast as it healed off of you when he did it, but just slowly, his body will eventually begin to pull back into its original form.
Tarek, I like how you said cellular tissue in a fantasy game. Like, Yes, my pharaoh, with Mercury in retrograde, the fields will have a bountiful harvest. Now about your cellular tissues and the... I have this MRI, mystic MRI machine here for your...
Did you know that the ancient Egyptians performed neurosurgery quite often?
Yes. Yes, I've heard that.
And they were the first people to develop sutures using the heads of king ants.
Pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah.
They were pretty advanced for their time period.
Hell yeah. They're
But
medical
then again,
science.
they did some crazy things that were medically insane too, so it was kind of
Well,
hit or
they-
miss.
Yeah, exactly. The reason they had such great understanding of anatomy, human anatomy and physiology, was because of their crazy, horrible medical experiments. But it led to them also coming up with some amazing cures for a time no one could
Well,
have.
I mean, when you spend lots of time mummifying people, that I'm sure you get to know anatomy pretty well. You're literally taking people apart.
The Mayans also did, or sorry, not the Mayans, the Aztecs. The Aztecs also did have a lot of
Yeah.
scientific or surgical advancements, but not as much life-saving surgical advancements.
Well, they spent a lot of time sacrificing people, so I'm sure they had like bodies to mess around with if they wanted to experiment.
Mm-hmm.
After his body's back to normal, he reaches across the table and does the same for Tom. It takes him a little bit longer, but he manages to pull Tom's body back together, and then after a little while, he pulls himself back together, or his body just seems to bounce back.
See, look how great of a guy Erdrick is. So no one giving him
Oh,
Vallanthia.
such a cute puppy.
that would be a betrayal.
It was bugging me this whole time, so I was like, fine, I'll feed it.
That is such a cute doggy.
He looks at Erda and asks, "Is everyone else okay?"
I look up from my note scrolling and go, I don't see any adverse effects. How do you feel?
He, after his body is now back to normal, he kind of flexes. And Erdrick, by the way, is stacked and built. I mean, he is nothing but muscle. And he just flexes a bit and says, "I'm fine."
Wait,
Um,
wait,
uh,
wait, can I
I'll
say something?
say, can you tell him thank you, please?
She said, "Thank you, please."
He nods and says something to you in Reptile, which Erda knows means it's nothing.
Erda, I have an idea. You got that. Remember when we first went into town and there was a lady with the necromantic book? Do
Yeah.
you still have that book?
Yeah.
Show it to
Pull out the
Erdrick.
necromantic tome.
Give it to Erdrick.
The evil black smoke just kind of miasmas around it. There you go.
Maybe he can tell us something about it, about the author or some. I don't know,
If it
something.
holds
Maybe
on
he
to
knows
the
something
story.
about this book. Give it to him.
Hand him the book. Is there anything
Takes
you
the
might be
book
able to
and-
glean from it?
He'll flip through the pages. He looks at you and says, I can't read Vallanthia." But as he looks through it, I can tell you what some of these symbols mean. Basically, he can do what you already did, which is he can study it with his knowledge of the symbology, but he can't read it because he doesn't read Vallanthia.
Yeah.
You
neither
do
I.
know that I do. I can
I-
translate.
Great. So you two do a fusion dance.
Yeah, we need to work together then and try to read this.
You go find that genie that has those random skills in your head.
I know.
Yeah.
Jeez. I can speak Vallanthia, I just can't read it. I'm a dum dum. I'm a little dum dum.
Kind of hilarious because there's no humans. No one can read the common tongue. It's hilarious to me. And
I
Erdrick is a
can.
human, but weirdly cannot. That's
So,
true, he can now.
So he doesn't know anything about this book, huh?
He knows about as much. He can tell you about as much as I
Nothing.
can.
Nothing. All of that work. All of
Only
that
we could
work.
learn, and if only I understand how to read Vallanthia.
I can help him translate it.
Oh. The
I've been
Elven?
teaching myself Vallanthia, and I can read it now.
You translate it to Sylvan? Or Sylph?
Sure.
I don't know that you'd want to. But
Well, if it's important, I can.
it would be helpful for me to be able to
Sure.
research it.
As a wizard, as your particular scholarly template,
Mhm.
you're aware completely that her reading it, even if she wanted to, there's no way she can learn necromancy. She already knows magic, and you can only ever have one type of magic once you've learned it.
It'd be hard for you to understand.
And she
Even
can
if you
she
did-
can read it, she can tell you what it says, but she'll never cast it.
Even if you did know Vallantian, but you could explain it or translate it to me, dictate it, and perhaps I could
Sure.
understand more of what is going on.
Sure, I can do that.
Okay, that's
All
probably
right,
going to take some time.
You can go ahead and make a intellect roll if you have scholar. That would help.
I do. Yeah, I do.
Cool. And roll your scholarly stuff.
Wake up, my dear. Doing good, boy. Stinky bubbish.
Okay. Most of the words you have no problem translating, and it starts to make a lot more sense. The words that you don't understand, about half of them, with Airdrek and Erda's help, you can figure out that they're just arcane words that you didn't know, or actually Elysian words that you didn't know. But both
Okay.
of them seem to speak and read Elysian just fine. Well,
Okay.
do you speak Elysian too? I don't remember.
I do.
Erda?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I speak and read right. I don't know where I
Well-
wrote it down. There it is. Yes. Read, write, speak Elysian. Read, speak Reptile, and only speak Vallantian.
Plus Sylph, because you're an elf.
And, yeah. And I read, write, and speak Sylph.
All right. So yeah, the Elysian stuff, the two of you were able to help with. The majority of course, is in Vallanthia. It's just there are certain technical terms there that don't translate.
Yeah.
And basically, you're going to spend probably the rest of the night working on a book, but you're able to get a lot of ideas from it. There are a lot of rituals in there to like raise the dead as zombies, to control the dead. There's even one section that teaches you how to fuse dead flesh together to create things like World of Warcraft abominations, for example.
Okay.
You know, you could just use a bunch of parts and make a thing.
Frankenstein monster.
Great, great. I'm taking notes, by the way, about all this stuff.
I bet you are.
And
No
there is
reason.
a section that describes how to pull life energy from people. It describes it as soul energy.
For study.
And you can there's even ideas in there to pull the soul energy out of someone to put into yourself to bolster yourself and heal yourself or make yourself more powerful. Or you can it even gives you ideas about maybe bringing someone back to actual life, you know, reversing death, which is actually the final ritual in the book. Which I think the lady that gave you the book told you that was the final ritual in the book, and the
No.
one that she wanted to do the most for her husband. It had been too long.
Yep. That is exactly what you said. Wanted to bring back her husband.
So yeah,
Um,
you're going through the book. It's basically necromancy for dummies.
Okay. And it's is there any references to for instance, I'm imagining there might be litanies or like praises or prayers not toward like a deity or like a good figure, but toward the individual who is bestowing the power.
Make
Or the
a scholar
information.
check. And if you have something appropriate to add to it, tell me what it is, and I'll tell you if it adds.
I have blood sorcery. Especially.
You know what? I'm going to say that's close enough. Yeah, go for it.
25.
All right, very good. All right, with that roll, some of the incantations, you think that there is extra verbiage added on that didn't need to be there. And almost every time, it takes you a moment to like cross-reference, but yeah, pretty much every time that happens, there is mention of certain Elysian words that you're starting to think, this is a name.
Hold
Like-
on.
Like if I say, you know, expecto patronum, expecting like this, you know, creature to appear and protect me, but in this case you're going expecto patronum, praise Beelzebub. It's unnecessarily tagged on.
I'll mention it to Esri and Airdrek, because I'm assuming we're the three that are really, you know, managing with this at this point. And I'll just say I'm not certain, but I think this repetitive part. It seems after every ritual there's a mention of these two Elysian words, and I thought that they were separate, but now that I think about it, they could, in a certain context, be a praise to an individual.
The Airdrek kind of just nods because I guess he didn't realize, because I didn't roll the scholar check for him. He didn't realize that you didn't know, and he'll say, Malfrost. That is the name of that is, you know, kind of being tagged on. Malfrost is a demon name. I would guess a demon whose power is necrotic, and therefore, this could be his. He is being praised through these spells. Maybe he wants you to cast them, or someone, not you.
Compelling. This is a lead. We'll have to look up more information, but this is at least something to go on, something we didn't have before.
Alright.
There has to be a library somewhere in the city. We'll have to find a place to do more research on this Malfrost.
And as y'all are talking about Malfrost, a cold wind blows into the room, but none of the doors are open, nor are the shutters. And the lights begin to dim, even though all the candles and such are still lit, as if it is just darker in the room. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and call game because it's almost time to go.
All right.
Ooh, that's exciting. Progress.
All right.
Is that it?
Thanks, guys.
right.
I had fun running. I hope y'all enjoyed the game. There wasn't a lot of combat this time, but there was some interesting stuff happening.
Oh yeah, a lot of intrigue. A lot of plot development too. I like it.
And you didn't find Gemma, but you did find Airdrek. And you're probably not even concerned about Gemma at this point now.
No.
She'll come back up. She's
Yeah.
got a whole thing.
Oh,
We'll
I'm
probably-
sure.
We'll probably see all these guys next time. So join us in 2 weeks for Vallanthia. Hey, if you watch this all the way through, obviously like to hit that like button. Let's hear it for Tarek, Matt, Howard, and Sarah, and myself. We'll see you later. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.